it's going to really wipe out the 7610. They might as well just pack up and go home. Okay, go ahead. You guys pick it up. I'll just listen. N1 DBL.
All right, Ray. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, W2MUR. Yeah, Ray, by the way, you're about 20 over here, so good signal tonight. You look at the spectroscope, and it looks like 6 meters tonight on 160. It's unbelievable. But, yeah, I'm just looking at the Sherwood. It's amazing. It's number 1 on the list. And it's actually, greater than 147 at 100 kilohertz blocking. It's pretty darn good.
Let's put it this way, it's certainly good enough.
Were you talking to me or Ray?
He was talking to you. But go ahead. I'm going to run down and get something to eat before before 50 people come in here and start talking. I'll be back. N1 DBL.
So the 7851 is 149 years. You're at 147, and the 7610 is 122. Yeah, so much nicer. So he's in Colorado. So I guess you answered the question I was going to ask, that how come he doesn't get these directly from the manufacturer? So it's only guys buying these and submitting them for test, and that's basically the way he does it. Randy?
I'll be right back. W2 Karawa.
So Ray, weather up there is what?
Hey, Mike.
I'm here. I am here.
It's W2 KRY. Say hi to this fine young lass here, Holly. Go ahead, Holly. Go ahead.
Hello.
That's Mike. Oh, go ahead.
Hey, Holly, how you doing?
Hi, Mike.
This is Mike over here in Holland Patton, New York. Do you hear me okay?
Oh. I can hear you all the way from Syracuse, New York.
Okay. You know, Holly, when you first came in, it sounded, I almost, now, Randy, is this, are you setting me up? Because when she first came in, it sounded like she was a little girl, but is Holly a little girl or a big girl?
I'm a big girl.
Okay, Holly. Yeah, so you had that little girl voice when you first came in, so...
I was trying to be quiet.
So you have a good voice for radio, believe it or not. Very nice voice for radio. Is this the first time you've been on the air, or you've been on the air before?
First time. First time on the air on here, for sure.
Now, did I meet you with Randy before?
I don't believe so.
Oh, okay. So have you ever had a desire to get your amateur radio license?
That would be a negative, but my dad does kind of the same thing, but Randy takes it to another level, which is also great.
Who's Randy?
Who you're talking to?
Oh, that's Holly, Randy. That's Randy's, I don't want to say it's Randy's wife. I'm assuming it's Randy's wife, Holly, right?
I I'm talking. Yeah. What?
I'm hoping that's who it is.
Mike, are you drinking again?
No, Randy, what are you butting in for? I'm talking to Holly. Randy introduces me to Holly. So we're talking to Holly, and she was introducing herself to me, and I was asking her if she ever thought about getting into amateur radio, and she says that she thought about it, but Randy takes it to another level.
Well, this is Randy, and I'm not married to anybody named Holly. And the other Randy that I know has a wife named Carol, beautiful woman. And Carol and Holly they don't sound anything alike.
Hey, Randy.
Hey, Randy.
You know the next door neighbor that you've got running around there?
The pole dancer.
Yeah.
Hey, Holly, how are you?
Hello.
I'm very confused.
Are you the neighbor that we talk about when Carol's not around?
Sure am.
Okay, well, nice to meet you. My name is Randy. I'm Bad Randy. You're next to Good Randy. And Mike is that kind of a, crazy guy there you're talking to also.
Hey, Randy.
Hey, Randy.
This is my son's number one.
Hello, number one, son number one.
Hello.
So, okay, no, wait a minute. I had that wrong. Is it your number one son's number one, or is it your son's number one?
Son number one.
Which do you have just one son, Randy?
Yep.
So it's the one and only son, and the one and only son's number one. Got it.
Sure. Absolutely.
So what do you think about all that ham radio gear, Holly?
I think it's awesome. You there?
I am. I was trying to think of something clever to say, but I'm not smart enough to do that. Usually my wife feeds me the smart comments, and she didn't say anything.
No, I think it's pretty dope. I like the whole scene, everything you guys do. I like it a lot.
We don't talk about drugs on the air.
It's okay. If you did, that'd be fine too.
You said dope.
Yeah, it'd be dope. Like, it'd be a good thing.
I thought you were calling Mike. Mike, she's calling you.
Oh, you got yourself in trouble. I'm not bailing you out.
She said dope. I wasn't sure if it was drugs or you. I wasn't sure.
Dope in a nice way. Like, not drugs, but, like, a good thing. Being dope.
Got it. I understand. I'm just joking.
We gotta bring Randy up to speed with the lingo here.
I'm an old dinosaur. So I don't. Wicked cool. Wicked.
I like
wicked.
Old
That was decent. That's decent. That was my. That's what we used to say.
Dude, that's dope.
I like old dinosaurs.
Hey, Mickey, ask Mike if you can see the picture of him in his bunny suit. I'm sorry, Holly. Sorry about that.
We're all confused now.
No, Mickey is Gary's wife. I'm used to talking to Mickey on here, and then I'm like I said, Holly, understand, I'm old.
No, I knew what you meant, but the bunny suit thing, I can't imagine what she's thinking right now. So she's talking to this guy in amateur radio, and she's trying to imagine me in a bunny suit. So there you go. It's a wild hobby, Holly. That's all I can say.
My nickname, actually, that my mom calls me is Miss Bunny.
Well, you should look at Mike in his bunny suit. Then you'd see a dinosaur in a bunny suit.
I'm looking for it right now.
The actual backstory of this is somebody lured me into showing up for an Easter egg hunt. I was dumb enough to say yes. And so I'm in the house, and they take me she takes me in the bedroom and gives me this bunny suit, and I'm trying to zip this thing up, and it's basically a pair of pajamas with ears that kind of fall over my forehead and a little over my nose, so nobody can, if only the kids could recognize who I was. And it was just it was the bunny from hell. That's all.
I'm sorry, the bunny from hell. That's not good.
Well, Holly, I was there when he got the phone call, and I heard the girl say, "Hey, Mike, how would you like to dress up in a bunny outfit?" And immediately he turned red in the face. He said, "Yeah, when?" So I don't know how much he was lured into doing it. He was pretty dope on the idea.
So you know, Holly, there's a lot of bad decisions that you make when you're young. But you still make, unfortunately, I'm really sorry to say that you still make bad decisions when you get older.
Absolutely.
So you see, when we were young, there was no internet. We couldn't get caught with pictures, and nobody put our dumb decisions on Facebook.
I'm actually old enough to know that when I was younger, I mean, I didn't have the internet either. I grew up with it maybe when I was in 7th, 8th grade, 9th grade. I didn't have technology either until I was a little bit older.
Well, it tells. You can tell you can actually still form a sentence. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, I was born in 83. My parents are a little bit younger, but I love old school everything. And yeah, I'm not about all the crazy internet shit. I mean, it's cool that you guys can do this. It's awesome. But everything else is a little bit overdrawn, I think, and like overplayed out. And the internet's kind of fucked up some shit.
Hey. Beep, boop, beep, boop.
Okay. Didn't know I couldn't swear.
Randy, where are your rules?
That's hysterical.
There's a demerit. Wait till we see Randy at the Toad Harbor Summit.
Oh, that's nothing compared to Ray.
So he only does that when he's mad at me.
Sorry, guys.
That's all right. That's just. I usually have a beep, 30-second delay on this, so I can beep you out. But I was sleeping at the wheel.
Wait till the black van shows up in front of Randy's house tonight, and the FCC comes knocking on the door. They'll probably want to have a talk with you, Holly. So, Holly.
Yes.
So I have to gingerly ask the question: Is it a happy Mother's Day for you? Are you a mother, or are you just thinking about that someday?
I am a mother, and I'm here to celebrate Mother's Day here also with another mother, my boyfriend's mom. So yeah, it's a happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day! Wow. Well, I can say this only because nobody knows my daughter-in-law, but I just found out she was pregnant yesterday, so I'm very excited to be my second granddaughter, man. So it's kind of a secret right now. Normally is these days. When everybody finds out they're pregnant, they usually go like about 13 weeks before they tell anybody, you know. And so I was super stoked that she was. Yesterday we found out, and so today's Mother's Day, and I whispered in her ear, "Happy Mother's Day."
Wow, that's awesome! Congratulations.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I thought you wouldn't let anybody talk about that.
No, I'm talking about it only because nobody that's on the air knows who she is, and it's not like it's going to get back to anybody.
You made me promise not to say anything.
Did I really?
Yeah. Do you not remember the conversation we had at midnight last night?
Oh, I was at midnight last night. Oh my gosh. I don't know my own name last night. I was so exhausted.
That'll happen to the best of us.
I was up from, well, I can't say this because Randy's been through this a million times, but I was up from 4:15, and I didn't get home till 9 o'clock. So that was a nice 15-hour day, which is generally a normal day for Randy.
Yeah, I didn't get to bed till 2 o'clock. I went up on 40 meters last night and was working 40. As a matter of fact, before I came here, I was over on 40, and I had a heck of a pileup going. We had a good time. I love that band. That is just the neatest band.
That's what I'm saying, and then you abused me the other day.
Michael, come on, abuse? That's such a strong term.
I know, that's never happened before, but it It was the first time all year, but I was saying how I was going over to 7150, and you were making fun of me. You were fun of me.
I was not making fun of you. You still don't get it.
I don't. You gotta explain it to me.
I'm a general.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, I am a little slow.
Right, yeah. You're asking me if I've gone there. And even if I have, I can't say I have.
Well, you could have texted me and said, yeah, I have, but don't say anything.
Well, I haven't. But that's why we're just, kind of kidding around with you. KB2 ZVP on the 15th.
It's a very selfish attitude. Just because I can go there, I think the whole world can go there.
W2KRY.
Wow, very nicely done.
Thank you.
So you like all the lights and the knobs and the buttons and all of the meters, right?
You're sick.
I absolutely do.
Michael.
No, I'm just saying. I liked them when I was a kid. My dad used to bring me home panels from General Electric, and I would flip them on and off and press the buttons. And what was sick about Get Your Mind Out of Gutter? I don't even know what. I can't even imagine what you were thinking right now.
Randy, Randy, come on.
I think Randy could put his radio room on autopilot.
I'm still here.
Randy's got a great shack. He's got a downstairs shack. Lots of room, cool stuff on the walls. It's pretty awesome.
He absolutely does. I just helped paint this over the winter, actually.
Wow, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Does he have, the shaggy carpet?
He's got a disco. What's that ball, that mirrored ball?
That's a negative.
Did you got a disco ball?
Disco is dead, and that's a negative.
Disco is dead. I mean, I don't know anybody that does disco. I was in we took over that's a long story. I don't want to go into that. But I saw a disco ball the other day, but the light was out. That's how old it is.
There's no light in a disco ball.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I actually kind of like disco still, just a little bit.
Yeah, Staying Alive and tons of stuff Randy could fill us in on.
You should see Mike, Holly. You should see Mike when he's got his white bell-bottoms on and really tight, and he's got the vest on and the jacket all open. You should, yeah, right, like Mike doesn't know about disco. You should see Mike. First time I met him, it was at a party at this very nice house, and there was this guy out there dancing dancing the Saturday night, whatever it was, Boo La La Fever, and it was Mike. That's how I met Mike.
He was doing the John Travolta?
He's trying to.
Oh, if I could dance like John Travolta, all my problems would be over. Are you kidding me?
You might have a little bit more problems if you were John Travolta, but if you were to dance like him, then that'd be cool.
No, that's what I'm saying. If I could dance like him, I could just go on tour.
And what, comedy tour?
Comedy tour.
Dancing like John Travolta, a comedy tour.
John Travolta, hard to believe he was in that movie.
And once he's done with that first dance, he'd be coming out with his crazy old horny rabbit outfit on.
Yeah, but he's a good dancer. He's just a weird individual.
He is a weird individual. I've got to call him and tell him to straighten up.
I think he's already gotten that call a bunch of times, but I don't know if that would help, but yeah, he's a weird individual.
He didn't die, right? He's still alive.
He's still alive.
Staying alive. You see what I did there, Holly?
That was a Bee Gees.
Well, it's still disco, isn't it?
Yeah, but still.
Yeah, and he danced to that.
I'm sure he danced to every disco song back in the day, but yeah.
I used to be a great dancer. I haven't danced in so long. I don't know what I'd feel. I wouldn't be secure enough to get out there on the floor. I would just keep my arms down close to my hips, and I wouldn't move them. I'm just that's where I would live. Just barely move. If I had to dance, if my life depended on it.
Disco's great. Other dance is good. All dance is great, I feel.
I more dance like the Fonz. Do you know who the Fonz is, Holly?
I absolutely do. Yes, for sure.
That's me. I dance like him.
That's awesome. I'm just glad to be talking to you guys right now. It's pretty cool.
Just think, Holly, your voice is going out. It's first of all going through a microphone right now. Through that microphone cord, microphone's creating a signal going into a radio. The radio is creating a signal that's going through an antenna into the air, up into the atmosphere, and bouncing off the atmosphere down into our antennas, into our transceiver, our receivers, and through a speaker and into our ears. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, absolutely. Did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
Good. Yeah, no, it's pretty awesome.
W2MUR for ID.
Kilowatt Bravo 2, Zulu Victor Papa.
W2KRY.
I'll be back in just a minute, you guys. I hope you're going to stick around for a little while, Holly. I've got to go out to the kitchen, get a glass of water. KB2ZVP. Be right back.
So, Holly, do you watch any? I've got a question for you. Do you watch any TV at all?
I do. Yeah.
Have you ever watched Better Things?
No, I don't think so.
It's such a great series. I just wondered. I hardly anybody watches it, but I love the show. It's on. I think it's on FX. That's what it is. It's on FX. What about Blacklist? Have you watched that?
Blackish.
Blacklist.
Oh no, I haven't watched that. I actually have just Fire Stick, Netflix, HBO Now. I don't do cable anymore.
My oldest son's like, let's see, he's 33, and he's never had cable, ever. He streams everything he watches. He has internet only. So he'll have The Office on. He has Zulu, I think it's Zulu, or I think it's Zulu. He streams everything. It's just amazing how much money he has saved over the years.
Yeah, it's Hulu, but
It's going to be a rough night tonight. Boy, I can tell that.
35, and I've had cable for maybe like a decade, and then, with the technology and everything, I went over to getting other stuff, which is cheaper, way cheaper than way cheaper than cable for any distributor. So that's what kind of we went to.
Okay, so I've got this. I have this podunk. I'm in the middle of nowhere out here in Holland Patent, New York. So I was in a dead zone with a horrible cable, very slow. And then all of a sudden they put fiber in, and now I've got super, super high speed. So I'm thinking now, because it's so fast, that I could actually get rid of my direct TV and just stream everything. Just stream what I want. I mean. I think it'd still ultimately be cheaper. I pay like $46 a month for fiber, which is like 100 megabytes a second. The price literally went down from $64 to $43 when they introduced fiber, because they were going to compete with Comcast, with Spectrum, I believe, right? So Time Warner, whatever they call it, and. I really am on the verge of getting rid of my satellite dish.
honestly, I mean, I don't know what kind of where you would like to go venture into. It's way cheaper to get rid of your cable. But although if you get certain like devices, like a Fire Stick, that brings you into certain stuff, but you have to also download the app and actually pay like a certain percentage a month. But I think it's cheaper than to actually just have the full-on cable bill that you would have for any, like, you know, Spectrum, Verizon, any of that. I found it to be cheaper.
Yeah, I have the Fire Stick, but I don't use it anymore because the TV that I have already has Amazon Prime. So I've got Amazon Prime, you know, for the video and music, and so I watch a lot of stuff that's free because I'm Prime. I'm a Prime subscriber, right? And I do the CBS Access because I like a couple shows on CBS, and then all of a sudden, Dish TV. I like The Residence. I don't know if you ever see The Residence. I VCR everything. So I'm VCR. I digitally.
Told you he was old.
So I mean, I just very rarely watch off-the-air TV, even with my Dish. That's why. With my DirecTV, that's why I thought, you know, why am I wasting my money doing this? So I called DirecTV and I told them, look, I wanted to pull out and get out. And so they basically, long story short, reduced my price from $100 plus a month to $45 a month. So I'll ride that wave maybe for another, you know, almost a year, and then after that, I think I'll just be free of all that. W2MUR.
KB2ZVP. I'm back.
W2KR1.
So we don't watch anything off the air anymore. And I say that very, very, very seldom. And we do everything streaming. Everything we watch is streaming. We have I don't know, probably 50 or 60 choices to stream from, whether it's HBO or Amazon or Fuzo or Zuzo or Puzo or whatever. You know, you can. There's a million things that you can pick up with between the stick and the internet. You know, it's incredible.
Now, Randy, if you were to total that up, I mean, in just rough estimate, what do you think you pay a month for all of that now that so you're streaming everything, but do you have cable or did you get rid of it?
We have a Dish. We added. You have to ask the Brain Trust. I don't pay any. Maureen, come here, sweetheart, would you? She'll tell you. I don't pay the bills. I have no idea what we pay, but we had cable, and we chose to go to the Dish or something. It's out there attached to the side of the house. What do we pay a month for our cable? $55 for our cable. What do we pay for our satellite dish?
That's our cable. That's our...
No.
Satellite is our cable.
No, it's not. We have...
What did we pay for our cable?
What, our internet, what do we pay for the internet?
$55.
Okay, and that comes from that cable.
No, the internet is $65.
$65 and $55. That's what we pay. We can get rid of the $55 because we never use the dish. If the dish fell off the side of the house, besides hitting it with a lawnmower, I wouldn't even know.
I know, because 80% of the stuff that's on the Dish you never watch, and I don't know if you have Dish or DirecTV, but like I said, I went from $105 a month, and I called DirecTV and said, look, my brother-in-law told me about this, so I didn't think of this myself. He told me about this. He said, just call them up and tell them you're going to cancel and say, look, and then they come back, and they basically give you a one-year $45 a month deal that anybody can call DirecTV and negotiate that down. So, but still, even with a negotiation, I still got the same service on DirecTV, but I don't watch. I watch probably 10% of all, and what I do watch, I tape. You know, I digitally record.
You tape. You got the old reel-to-reel going, do you?
Yeah, I've got the 2-inch reel-to-reel, a VCR tape, and it's video. It's a VHS tape. VHS. You know, I still have the VHS tape and recorder. I had a really nice one. So I've got all my VHS tapes that I'm trying to move over to digital, but I haven't had zero time. So the only time I can do it is like during Thanksgiving or Christmas, or if I got a few days off. But I bought this package from Best Buy and it was like $59. I haven't even opened it up yet. This is a little package that allows you to take your VHS and stream it into your computer and store it digitally. You can get rid of all your VHS tapes.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool to have. I think that'd be pretty neat. So let's do the recap. We pay $65 a month for the cable. For the computer, for the internet, and does that take care of the Roku and all that?
Yeah.
That's Roku and everything together. The dish we pay $55 for, and we keep getting an offer for less money, but you got to sign up with their internet. We don't want to do that.
We already get their internet.
So the other thing is. And anything we watch off the air, we can get with our rabbit ears, so it costs us $0. So I'm still thinking of putting an over-the-air antenna outside, and then just take the dish off the side of the house.
I mean, that is a great idea. First of all, I've got two antennas. I got a beautiful VHF, UHF antenna, and then I've got a smaller, I don't know why they had another one, and I've never even hooked it up, and I can get 22 channels supposedly with this, at least in the area, because DirecTV got rid of Fox, and they got rid of somebody else, so they sent me one of those little loops and stuff, and said, just connect it up, and I haven't even opened the box, because I got this antenna set up, and it's got 75 ohm cable coming off of it, and all I have to do is connect it up and use it. I just haven't done it.
Yeah, they took Fox off the dish, and I can't watch, like when they have Fox Sports 1, so I have to watch it off the rabbit ears, and you don't even know the difference. It's just as clear, it's digital, it's perfect, and we get like 30 channels with the rabbit ears.
So I'm wondering if I can. I guess I can't, because it's a DirecTV recording. That's the only downside. You can't record it unless you go out and get TiVo or something.
Right, yeah, you have to have TiVo. You hear that, Mickey? We're all excited because we're using rabbit ears. Holly, sorry. See, this is Holly. Do you know? We're old, Holly. You're going to get like this, okay? You're going to get like this in about 100 years, and then you're going to be just like us. You're going to think back to this conversation about those crazy guys that were on the ham radio, and you're going to think, wow, I'm just like those old guys.
No, I'm not at all. I understand what you guys are talking about. I have ways of doing things, too, when it comes to media and television.
But I mean, being all confused, that's the part that comes with age.
Oh, yeah, no, I get that still. I'm gradually still getting that. Even when I was younger. I don't think it's anything that changes.
Sweetheart, wait till you hit 50. You're going to see things change that you're not going to be happy with.
Oh, I agree with that.
Dude, I wish I did. 50 was a great time. So Holly, I never really was bothered by turning 30 at all. My oldest son was. I never was bothered by turning 30. I was never bothered by turning 40. Never bothered by turning 50. But when I turned 60, I was so bothered that I left the state of New York, and my buddy of mine flew me to Las Vegas. I didn't want to go because I was so busy, but I wanted to kind of get out because I didn't want to have a birthday party. I didn't want any attention at all. All my family wanted to have a birthday party for me, and I said no. So I went out to Las Vegas. My buddy flew me out there, begged me to go out. I didn't want to go, so he paid for my tickets to make me go. I had the time of my life. I saw Elton John live, which I don't even like Elton John, but because I saw him live, I like him a lot. We flew a helicopter into the Grand Canyon, landed. We just had a blast. It was just the best time I've ever had in my life.
That's awesome, though. You didn't expect to have fun, so it's good that you did.
It was great. So 60, so I'm 61, and time is flying, and it seems like, and I think back, right around 40, time just accelerated exponentially. So, it's just amazing how time flies as you get older. When you're younger, it just kind of drags.
I get that. I'll be in my 40s here, in shortly, 3 or 4 years.
Just think, in 4, I think you said you were 36.
I'm 35.
You could actually get a college, if you don't already have a college degree, if you do, you could get your master's or your PhD. In 4 years, what you could do with your life in 4 years, just 36 to 40, it seems like an eternity, but it goes by so quick.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree. But I am 35. I will be 36 at the end of December, just to clarify that, but thank you.
Do you like old men, Holly?
Old men like me.
I'm sure they do. Because, I'm an incredibly handsome old man.
I had a love affair with a 26-year-old, but I say love affair very, very lightly.
I've seen those pictures, Michael.
I got a man, but I appreciate the compliment.
I realize you can't talk freely because Randy's right there.
I actually can talk freely because Randy's right here. But, that's the funny part. I can talk freely. But, yeah, so thank you.
Okay.
I'll be back. W2MUR.
Holly, is Mike making you uncomfortable?
Not at all.
Okay.
Don't put thoughts in her head.
No, honestly, not at all.
KC1RS. KC1RS.
Hello, Russ.
What's going on there, Randy?
Oh, we're just picking on Mike and Randy's daughter-in-law, Holly, is on the air.
Hello.
Hello, Holly. Yeah, I heard Mike in there saying some uncharitable things about Podunk. Podunk is like a mile and a half from me. There's an actual place called Podunk.
I think he's wishing he was in Podunk.
It's not really incorporated, but it's a nice little stretch of hill over here. There's some nice folks over there.
What did you do all day today?
Hung out with Bo Peep's grandma and her mother. Got the lowdown on their trip to Europe, and just kicked around, ate food, and tried to stay out of the rain. It rained pretty heavy here all day.
Yeah, we had rain today all day. I went down and saw my mom, and we went down and saw the kids, and we had a good day today, a really good day. We got a lot of nice visiting done. We went over to Wemple and Edic's and had an ice cream cone, and I took a nice nap on the way home, and Maureen drove the car home, so I got about an hour and a half nap. So yeah, it was a good day.
Maureen just keeps getting better and better.
She's like fine wine, buddy.
Now?
I heard somebody else in there. It sounded like somebody got hit by a car. Is there somebody there that needs help?
Sound like a cat stuck on a fence.
Norway 3 Radio, Mexico Radio.
You seen the squirrel picture where the squirrel gets stuck in the fence, Russ?
Is that similar to the one where the guy got stuck in the plastic lawn chair?
Yeah, very. That was a good one too. Yeah, it was very similar to that. Go ahead, Mark.
Hello? CQQRZ is the frequency in use. Norway 3 radio, Mexico radio.
It's only in use by people that have good signals, so we'll see you later.
Sorry, old man. Sorry, OM, you're too weak to copy. CQQRZ.
I was on 40 meters a little while ago having a blast up there. I'll tell you, that's a great band. That's really a nice band.
Hey, Randy.
If you
Yes,
got
Holly?
any weaker right now to me, Randy, I wouldn't be able to even hear you.
I'm going to be actually leaving here shortly, and I just want to say best 73s.
Well, Holly, it's been really fun talking with you. You seem like you've got your head screwed on just the right way and all that. So, which I'm kind of surprised because you're hanging out with Randy over there. But really nice to meet you. You're a pleasure to talk with. You take care, and I hope you had. I'm sure you did. But happy Mother's Day to you.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure, and I hope to talk to you guys again soon sometime.
Well,
Hey,
we're here every
73.
single night, so anytime you want to stop by and say hi,
Just
you
be
know.
careful these Old Harbor guys.
Okay,
I didn't have an arrest
Thank you,
record
guys.
until I started hanging out with these guys. So be careful. 73.
All right, Holly, 73s from W2MUR in Holland, New York. And it was a pleasure talking to you, Holly. Have a great night.
A pleasure, too. You too.
Well, she seems like a very nice young lady. Yes, she does.
So, Mike, what's your problem with Podunk?
Okay, she's gone. You can talk about her now.
Did somebody ask me a question?
Yeah, you seem to have a problem with Podunk.
Oh, Podunk. Okay, yeah, I'm kind of in Podunk here in Holland.
Well, actually, Podunk's an actual place, and it's like about a mile and a half just to the west of me here.
Oh, really? You're kidding me. It's actually a place. So how many people are in Podunk?
Probably only a couple hundred.
Oh, my
it's not
gosh.
incorporated or anything, but there's
Oh,
a
at least I got
Podunk
800
Road,
here.
and it's, first time I saw the sign for Podunk, I thought it was a joke, and every now and then the wife goes on the internet, and they come back and they give her location as Podunk, Connecticut.
Hey, Ross.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you got nothing on New York, brother. There's a Podunk, New York that's not too far away from here, okay?
There's probably a Podunk everywhere. It's just people think it's a made-up place.
Well, actually, if you drive through it, it really is made up. How you doing tonight?
I think the signals are still a little bit down. We're still a little early yet. Your signal's good, 40 over. Well, yeah, the close-in guys are good, but, Russ is out there a little ways, and so certainly is Mark. I mean, we're all close together, Randy and I and you. And you and I are really close. Not as close as Randy and I. You're special. You're weird. You're special, Randy. And I look forward to our hugs.
So when you say Randy's special, is he the kind of special that has to wear a bicycle helmet all the time?
Not yet. Our last get-together, he attacked me in a parking lot, Russ. He's huggable. What do you want?
Was that done in a fit of passion?
It was done in front of people. I had witnesses. I was, getting close to filling out a police report.
I just love him. I can't help it. You bunch of homophobes.
I was a little bit concerned when I thought he had how do I say this? I'm trying to come up with a better way to say it. I didn't realize he carried a Maglite with him all the time.
No, that was my 380.
You sure he wasn't just happy to see you?
I thought he saw a shooter and he was trying to protect me.
You don't realize that Randy pays me good money to be his, bodyguard every year.
It must be if your job is to protect him from girls that are trying to get to him. That's got to be the easiest job in the world.
No doubt.
It's a good thing you live It's a good thing you live up there in Massachusetts.
LK1VOY. Well, he lives in Connecticut. I was on 40 meters, and you know how I like to play around when somebody says, I don't know where Toad Harbor is. So a guy comes in, he goes, I don't know where Toad Harbor is, he says. He's from Florida. He goes, I don't know where Toad Harbor is. He says, can you tell me? I said, what's the matter? They don't have high schools in Florida? He goes, we do, but we don't talk about Yankees. That was the best smart-ass answer I've ever heard to that smart-ass comment that I always make.
Hello, K1VO1. I didn't know where Toad Harbor was until I heard you guys either. K1VO1.
Well, that's kind of the thing, right? Nobody knows where Toad Harbor is unless you're in Toad Harbor. But a lot of times I'll pick on people. They'll say, I don't know where Toad Harbor is, and I'll say, what the heck? Did you go to high school? Or whatever, make some kind of a smart-ass comment like it's something that somebody's supposed to know about. But anyway, that's that. KB2ZVP.
So what you're saying is that on Mount Rushmore, the fifth head should be a toad.
Exactly.
I got you. I feel you. Yeah.
Where's Randy?
$10 meters is open, by the way, in case anybody's in up Band Creek.
Right now? Right now, Mark?
Randy, huh?
He can't hear you, Mike.
I only hear Randy at the moment.
Hello, Mark.
And
Can you hear me?
Something right there.
What's my signal to you, Mark?
Oh, I got it attenuated down. Your 7S units.
What's it attenuated down from?
If I come up the regular receive, you're 5/9.
And you can't hear Mike at all?
If somebody else is in there, they're under my noise.
Come on, Mikey. You can do it.
There, I heard somebody right there. I think that was Chris.
Huh.
Hey, Mark, W2MER in Helipad, New York. Can you hear me now?
You see, Ray thought it was just my bad receiver from the Kenwood, but no. Conditions for me roll in quite a bit later than when you guys are all hearing each other up there.
Yeah, it seems to be worse than usual right now, too, because it's almost 8 o'clock. Well, it's almost 8 o'clock, but it's still very, very bright out there.
But I got heavy cloud cover here with lots of rain yet, so that also is affecting it.
My noise level is only S7 right now, and when I first got on 160, it literally looked like 6 meters.
I have a little over S9 noise level. I got my new block saw drilled out for my lights for my 77 amplifier. I'm changing it over to LEDs, and There's like about an inch of room above the meter that I'm going to shine down from the top, my LEDs, and I took 2 blocks of wood, half by half, and from a quarter inch from one end, or I should say a quarter inch from each end, and one dead center. And the ones that are on the outside are tipped degrees, so I have it's going to be pretty cool. And I've got all 6 of them here ready to go, and I just got to get some time here, and I'll change the lighting system in my Alpha 77. I'll update it with new LEDs. I kind of have a funny feeling about doing that, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Well, that's pretty cool. So yeah, it's kind of like in a Y configuration, upside down Y, right?
Well, a Y has 2. This is 3.
Right. Well, yeah, that's right. Okay, so you got one in the middle, or one on the outside in the middle, and one 30 degrees on the other side.
It'd be kind of like a W, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be a chicken foot.
Oh, I know what that noise is.
Is it your street light?
Yeah, exactly what it is. It hasn't kicked on full yet. It's just in starter mode.
Get your pellet gun out.
It's cycling.
I would have had to knock that thing off the pole by now.
Oh, that's cool, Randy.
If it's out for a second before it starts its next cycle, it drops down to like 3 or 4 S units of noise.
You can't go out there and smack the pole with a baseball bat and knock the thing out?
No, because I'll be arrested, get 30 days in jail and a $6,000 fine.
Okay,
and then I'll be labeled a terrorist in the community, and I'll be watched by the FBI.
You can't shoot it with a 12-gauge shotgun and point to somebody and hand somebody... I guess not.
Oh, hell no. You can't have guns down here.
You talk about a street light?
Oh, yeah. It's Dauphin County, dude. This is the capital county. You can't be having guns down here, let alone discharge them in public.
In the old days, you could hit that with a bub and take them out.
Yeah, that's what the kids used to always do. We had to be home by the time the street lights came on, so you'd go out there with a baseball bat, knock the pole, and the light would go. But Ma, the lights aren't on yet.
I'm being watched as it is anyway.
We know that.
Hey, Randy.
Russell.
I had a street light in front of my neighbor's house in Florida, and they had a tree right next to it. And that thing used to hang on turning on. It used to just be kind of a dull pink color. It would never switch on. So I climbed up in the tree one night, and I reached over and I pulled the electric eye off the top of the thing. That thing never came on for like 3 years before anybody even bothered to say anything about it.
Boy, I'd love to be able to do that.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't have any street lights here. We don't worry about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I got a street light probably about 600 or 700 feet away from me here. Maybe actually, heck, further than that. Probably close to 300 yards hill from me, but I don't even think it works half the time.
The closest street light for me is like 2.5 miles.
Hey, Randy.
Yeah, Randy.
Guess what I figured out?
The purpose for life?
No. Remember I was having all that hash, and I talked to NYMO a couple times, and they gave me the high hard one?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah. I think when I told them after the windstorm that it was on fire, I think that helped out a little bit. But recently, they have switched all these streetlights to LEDs, which I thought was going to be a big issue, but it's they must have done it right, and it's actually made it a lot quieter around here, I think.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great.
Randy.
Who's calling Randy?
K1VOY. Hey, Randy, you going to be around for a little, about another hour or so?
Yeah, John, I'll be here. We'll be here for a couple hours.
Yeah, okay. I got a couple of questions I got to have dinner now, so I'll catch you when I have finished dinner. K1VOY, Cape Cod.
Okay, take care out there in Buzzard Bay. We'll see you later, John.
Where's Buzzard Bay at?
Alaska.
All right.
Off the Atlantic, just south of Podunk.
Hey, that Buzzard Bay sounds way, way hipper and cooler in a pirate sense than Toad Harbor.
You got that right. And I said one night, I said, if I moved from Toad Harbor, where would I move to? I'd have to move to Buzzard Bay.
Nah, that sounds more like a loop district of Toad Harbor.
I like Toad Harbor. Although, there's a real chance, there's a probably better than 50% chance that we'll be leaving Toad Harbor in the next year or so, or a couple years maybe, and we'll see what brings after that.
Was that a secret?
No, it's not a secret.
What? Where are you going? Where you going?
I'm thinking Alaska.
Really?
No, Maureen says there's no way in hell. If we move here, you know, with the company and all that stuff that's going on, I'm not sure if I've explained that well enough or not. But if we ever do leave here, we're going to move back closer, you know, closer to Montgomery County, where the kids are, back toward Fonda.
Oh, okay. But you still be in there?
Oh yeah, oh certainly, yeah. I'm not going to give up on my buddies, that's for sure. In that picture, if you study those lights, do you see how they're angled out a little bit, the outside, the end ones?
Well, I see that you cut a little bit out of the ends. I was going to ask you. I didn't really see how they were angled.
Yeah, they're definitely angled. If you look at the keyboard keys, look at the BV. The V is where the B is, which would be right. The N is right. You see how? Okay, look at the N on the left. Concentrate on the left light. See how the N is straight in front of it, and really, well, how would you say that? Just trust me, I guess they're angled out.
Well, it looks like you took a little bit of the end of the wood to allow that side of the LED to shine.
No. Don't. It's encased in the wood. I will do a better job taking a picture.
I get it. So you just put it in an angle, 30 degrees.
Yeah, a big idea. I can show you the wires coming out of the wood. That'll more demonstrate the angle of the dangle.
That's pretty cool, man. It's a piece of wood. You have a small piece of wood, man.
That's what...
You guys are a bunch of sick bastards. You know that?
Get your mind out of the gun. I'm talking about the wood block.
It's a popsicle stick.
Oh, yeah, I get it. I see, said the blind man,
as he picked up his hammer and saw.
Man, I tell you, I've got a job. I mean, I wish you could do something for me, but I'll talk to you offline for that.
Well, come on, there's no secrets here. What do you got?
Okay, so I kind of like do okay, so I have this like kids church that I do every other Sunday, right? So we have this big game show thing that I'm setting up, and I've got this. I spent $369 on a big light tower and then 6 buttons. And the first person that presses a button, you know, the light blinks. The second person gets second place. You know, and it's a lot of fun, and the kids love it. I have it on a table right now, but I used to have this plexiglass, if you can imagine this, half of an octagon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no, half of a, it was just like a 3-sided stand that was made out of extruded aluminum and plexiglass. And it was the coolest thing, man. I made this thing, and I made relays in it that if you hit the button, the other guy couldn't turn the light on, only the guy that did it. So I just need to integrate this light stuff into this plexiglass three-sided stand that actually is supported by extruded aluminum. You know that they make these workstations out of extruded aluminum. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, I have.
So when you say half of a hexagon, are you talking about something that's triangular?
No, that's why I backtracked on that half of it. No, it's just a three. It's a 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah,
It's three-sided, not a triangle.
I guess that would be six-sided if you made it all completed it, but so it wouldn't be a hexagon.
Would that be right, or would that be isosceles?
And had like little shells for the bird, and it was really the coolest thing ever.
So it's not really a triangle because I get it. It's not wrapped, it's not touching. It's not three sides touching. Three sides and the back's open.
Three sides and the back is open, right. So it's almost like your light, so the two sides are kind of like 20 or 22 degrees, maybe 30 degrees, and then the front is flat.
Well, then why didn't you just say half of a hexagon?
Well, I can't because it's not eight-sided.
Wait a minute, is this that new Common Core geometry you're trying to come across with?
You didn't just say that, did you?
I did.
No, the Common Core I was too early. I was too young to do Common Core. Thank you for the compliment.
I've got your foot switch here on the desk. Here, listen.
Oh wow! I thought somebody stole it off my porch.
I sent the one that was just like this one already.
Oh really?
Yeah, last weekish.
I didn't get it yet, Lee, but will.
I hope so. Maureen says, "Why did we get a check from Mike?" I said, "Mike who?" She said, you are Mike Murray. I said, "I don't know."
That's 2 years worth of dues.
I said, "Oh, thank you. Finally, somebody paid their freaking dues." But then it dawned on me, I've got to send you this. Why don't we just get together? Okay, we can't get together next weekend because next weekend I'm going to see Russ.
So hey, Mike, how is it possible that you, a very well-educated fella, fell for the you got to pay Toad Harbor scam?
Well, because I was just a rookie, man, when I got in.
Listen, let's not talk about it over the air. I got the pigeons coming someday soon. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag.
Well, Mike, when you pay your dues on time, you get a bonus, right? You know what it is?
What is it?
You don't get poked as hard in the eye with a sharp stick.
Oh, man, I like when that happens. I like when I don't get poked.
This is a lot of fun. Man, that guy that night that I said that to and he went off, that was a riot. He was turning me into the FCC, and by the way, his sister-in-law worked with him.
Oh, my gosh, you're in so much trouble, man. You know what? I know a good attorney.
Oh, yeah. That's Charlie.
I know. That's what I was going to say. Charlie's going to hear from him.
I wonder what he thought when he said, I can afford a legal battle. Can you? And I just sent him back. This is my name. Just contact Bethany Schumann McGee Esquire with any legal matters. And I said, you know what? I think it'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, bluff him. He wouldn't do very good at poker.
He said like a true block man.
Yeah, well, next thing you know, I had my antenna.
You should have got like 3 antennas out of that deal. Then I wouldn't have to worry about it. The other 2 that I tried to buy from him.
I don't want to make Bruce mad at me, but I got to tell you, there's more and more And if I were you, but the technical kind of stuff that you do and like that, you know, the more, I don't know, that's more and more becoming, you know, it's appealing to me is what I'm trying to say.
Well, I mean, I really appreciate it, Jack. I haven't had time today. I was just so exhausted, but I can't believe that Jack gave me that information. I literally have that application on my iPhone. I literally have it on my iPhone. I remember fooling around with it for about maybe half a day, and I said, screw this, I don't have the time. And then wouldn't it be so ironic that app was sitting right under my nose, and that's all I needed to get on and get my remote going.
Yeah, that was Comcast QSXer, right?
Oh, no, it's actually Comcat. C-O-M, Charlie Oscar, Mike, Charlie Alpha Tango.
Yeah, I have my friend Rusty. The Montgomery County has a tower. So let me try to pull my head out of my ass just for half a second so I can explain to you what I was trying to talk about. We went past the Montgomery County Jail today, the sheriff's department, and there was a new antenna up there, the dipole. And my friend Rusty is the president of the Montgomery County Ham Radio Club, and I saw the dipole up there, and I thought, what the heck? They didn't call me with the antenna, because the last one they had to have put up, I did the tower climbing. And so I just sent him a text message and said, hey, I see the new antenna at the sheriff's department. And I said, I'm a little bit offended because you didn't call me. And so he said it's in the middle of the prison yard, and they only had a certain amount of time they could get up there and get down before the prisoners had to be let out. And they didn't have time to contact me, so I was less offended. But now they have on top of Reynolds Road, which is right up the road from my house, is this great 190-foot tower. And it's at 1,200 feet. And it's the tower that I put the antennas on, and so now they've got to change the 440 antenna up there. So I'm looking forward to doing that job. He's going to contact me. And my friend Pete Ray, W2PR, needs some antenna work at his house with a Roan 55 tower. So I'm getting a message from those guys. So I might have maybe doing a little antenna climb, a little tower climbing coming up.
So the Roan 55 is 5 feet, right? How high is the 440?
No, the Roan 55 is 55. It's a size, okay? Like they have Roan 25, which is 12 inches across. Roan 45, which is like 15 or 16 inches across. And the Roan 55 is a very robust tower. It's a really nice tower. It's 100 and some feet long or high. Where he has his VHF stack, and he's got to have some work done on that. So that's a nice tower to climb. And the other tower is 190 feet, the 440, and that's where the antenna is.
Oh, man, no. You don't want to go up 190 feet. Come on.
That's the tower right up by my house where I built up in Glen. I was by there today thinking, man, I want to get up on that again. And lo and behold, there it comes.
So how long would it take you to climb up that 190 feet?
Law or the way I do it?
Just the way you do it.
Probably 4 minutes.
Okay, so how do you do it?
I climb it without stopping. I don't do a 40-foot break.
Oh, I didn't know they did a 40-foot break.
Yeah, it's just a way to do it, but I don't know. And I just climb up this thing. It takes just a few minutes. The one thing about that is there's no cable on it to clip on. You got to free climb it. You just free climb it without being attached.
That's no good. You don't want to do that.
I just got a picture of Holly.
Beauty. Harness and a lanyard, or are you just using a positioning belt?
I use a full body lanyard.
I had a couple of buddies down in Florida. They were crazy. They scampered up and down towers all the time, and they just wore positioning belts. They were nuts.
I did in the old days, but once I got a job and I could afford a full body harness, that's what I'd never go up a tower without that now.
you just about need one of those get-ups where you they've got those reels now that you can you carry them in a pouch, and if you're hanging by that lanyard, you can you can attach them. You can attach them to your hookup, and you put your foot into it, and that way you can release the tension on the harness. Because a lot of people, if you're stuck for any length of time, you can get wrecked up pretty bad if you can't put yourself up at least a little bit. But the tower's right there, it's not a problem. But I know guys that are hanging from fall harnesses when they're doing like deer blind type stuff. Boy, it's a real easy way to be found dead in a couple hours.
It don't take anywhere near a couple of hours. We had a guy, Darren Clemens. He's a black guy, and I'm only mentioning he's black for a certain reason. So we had a guy in a bin, cleaning out a bin. So he was there's in the center of the bin there was a eye hook where he sent to, and then he goes down. As the aggregate goes down, you can release yourself, and you've got a lanyard that's adjustable. So as the aggregate's going down, he's adjusting himself, standing on the aggregate. Well, he gets to the point where he has to adjust himself one more time, and he doesn't. He wants to see what it's like to be held by the lanyard. He wants to do something that Randy would do, and he wants to test the lanyard. So you have to understand, when this aggregate is going down, the center of the aggregate it's like a cone. It cones down. And so he decides he's just going to lift his feet and see what it feels like to be held by the lanyard. Well, what happens when you lift your feet? You swing. And he got himself to he swung off of where he could touch. And once you're attached to the lanyard tight, and the lanyard's tightened up, you can't adjust it anymore unless you can pull your body weight up the lanyard and adjust it. Well, he couldn't do that, and he had his lanyard on too loosely, or his harness on too loosely, and the side things came up and went underneath his armpits and cut the blood off. And he was swinging there, and he had a walkie-talkie. Thank God he did, because it's one of the protocols. You got to have a walkie-talkie in there, and there's got to be a guy monitoring. And he was swinging, and he's doing like that running thing. You know, he's trying to run himself around and swing, and he's doing all kinds of commotion, trying to get himself back where he can touch the land, and he couldn't get himself there. So he called Chewy, this kid, George Campbell. He called him Chewy. Hey, Chewy, I need help. Chewy, I need help. So Chewy runs up there, climbs up the 80-foot ladder, gets to the top of the bin, and there's Darren Clemens, who's okay, he's black, but he's not black anymore. He's white, right? So Chewy calls Randy, get up here right away. I got a problem. No problem. So I go flying up there because I knew what we were doing. I go flying up there, and I seen what was going on, so I just jumped from the top all the way down. I grabbed a hold of Darren's lanyard, and I kind of just jumped and held on to that, and I grabbed a hold of his legs, and I was standing on the aggregate, and I picked him up, and I said to Chewy, I said, cut the lanyard. And, of course, he doesn't care. He's a Puerto Rican, the only Puerto Rican in America that doesn't have a knife. So maybe it's a stereotype. So I got him by the legs. I'm picking him up. He finally gets the lanyard released, and then I drop him into the sand, and he's starting to come back to life. He was out, and it wasn't a matter of minutes. And this dude was out cold, and all the color had gone his face and everything, and then he came back around a little bit and had to slap him up a little bit, get him going, and he started, he had a wicked headache and all that stuff. But so if you don't have your harness on right, if you're relying on your harness to stop you from falling, what happens is a lot of times you have a cable that runs up the side of the tower out about 3 feet, and you snap on to your auto. It's a device on the cable, and as you're climbing up, it allows you to climb up. But if you fall, it'll drop and latch. But that shock from that, you fall that 6 or 8 or 10 feet, and that thing jerks you. That alone can knock you out. and normally somebody bangs their head against the tower, and you're relying on your harness to hold you there till help comes. And if you don't have the harness on just exactly right, you can die from the blood cut off to your brain.
That's called a Landry or Landra, or what's that called?
A lanyard.
Lanyard, yes. I had one on the top of this Colgate building, and one of the guys that was up there who actually did this slate roof, and he was very comfortable up there. He slipped, though. It was snow up on there. It was a nice warm day, but there was still snow up there, so he slides down under the cable, and he's hooked on. And then he almost over the edge, and I'm like, and he crawls back up, and he just keeps working, and like nothing happened. I said, his name was Bill. I said, Bill, if you ever do that again, I'm just going to faint. Don't ever do that again. I won't be able to stay up there. Just don't ever do that again. He was just kind of laughing like it happened every day.
We know that you called it a Landry. Randy and I, well, of course, it was Randy more than me. He was poking fun at you.
Yeah, well, I've only won once, but I hope I never had to use it, because I would do more than knock my head against the edge of the roof or something. It would be not good.
Well, I've worn them many times, countless times, and thank God I've never had to rely on it. I mean, I've always relied on it, but I've never had to utilize it.
Yeah, but, really, Randy, to go free with no harness on, it's just not wise. I mean, you should just click in. You should be clicking in. I mean, every time you go in, and get you up there a little slower. But, okay, so say one of you have, what if something happens? Say you faint or you have a heart attack or whatever, you don't have any way to hold on, you're dead.
Well, you don't understand. I'm wearing a harness with a lanyard. Okay, free climbing means there's no cable that you can just climb up, and the lanyard's attached to the cable. So if you slip and fall, you just dangle. So whenever you stop, immediately you clip on. But you've got to free climb it. The lanyard's over your shoulder, and the hook is in front of you on your chest. You just climb up it, and as soon as you stop, you just take it off your chest and you put it around the rung. You just clip it on the rung. So the minute you stop, even if you're going to have a heart attack, you're able enough to grab that thing and clip it onto the rung.
Okay, but there's still a point in time. There's many seconds where you're free climbing. So, I don't know. Whatever can go wrong will wrong. Murphy's Law.
Yeah, well, Murphy's Law. But certainly that could happen.
Hope for the best and for the worst.
Right. So as soon as you stop, 3 points of attachment. You always got a free hand, and if you have to, you don't take the thing on and off. Hook it to the and then you just don't do that. But you got to have confidence in yourself. You're strong enough to hold yourself to the tower. You don't do it in a windstorm. And, I was up there at one time on a windstorm. I lost a brand new Arctic Cat hat. I looked for that thing for an hour afterward.
Okay, so get Maureen on. I got your question.
Mo Guns?
I'm listening, Mike. I don't have a microphone over here by my chair yet, and I have a kitty on my lap, so I can't move.
I can hear you perfectly. I hear you perfectly. So are you comfortable with Randy doing this?
Yeah. I thought you were listening. So repeat that again.
Are you comfortable? Okay, there was a lot of a pause. There was a big pause there. I don't want Randy telling you what to say. Are you comfortable with him doing this?
No, and the only reason I hesitate, Mike, is because I wasn't sure what you guys were talking about. I'm chatting with my children on the phone.
Oh, I gotcha.
Okay,
are you
what is that?
So what are you talking about? What am I comfortable with him doing? What?
Are you comfortable with him skydiving out of an airplane?
Skydiving out of an airplane?
Yeah.
With a parachute, right?
No, well, the guy behind him had to.
Yeah, if he wants to go skydiving, I'm sure that
Listen, I'm not going anywhere with a guy that close behind me.
A lot of people go skydiving. If he wants to do it, I would probably have my heart in my mouth for a couple of seconds. But yeah, I would, if he wanted to do it, I wouldn't tell him not to.
Okay, I guess I'm coming. Okay, so he's free climbing up this antenna, so you're good with that.
Free free climbing up the antenna.
The tower on Reynolds Road. You know what we were right by today.
That's not so bad.
Yeah, Rusty wants me to climb that and change the force. She doesn't know. So
That one's not so bad. It's not.
it's
It's not
190
terrible.
feet.
190 feet. I don't like it. I'm not gonna watch. No.
Oh, you have to be there. Take pictures.
No.
For the net.
No.
On the Facebook. What the hell's going on? You
I don't know.
You got two fish or something? Cats are coming from everywhere.
Oh, no, I've started an argument. I'm so sorry.
What am I
The
missing?
life insurance is paid up. She's probably okay.
Yeah, no, there's...
It's not an argument. He's gonna do what he's... Listen, all right, I got no cats anymore. Randy scared them all away.
There she goes.
I don't have to yell from across the room anymore. Put this mic where you want it.
What do you want? Go ahead. Just talk.
So, he's going to do what he's going to do, and I'm going to tell him not to do it. I'll tell him that I, am nervous about it and everything, but, you got to live your life.
Wait a second. You mean to tell me that a member of the Toad Harbor Net is going to jump out of an airplane that's not on fire?
People do it all the time, Ray.
This is how stuff starts.
Well, you know what? They're not too smart.
Randy's headed on his bucket list, Ray. You gotta give it to him. Ray.
Yes.
What do you think the chances? Now you know me as good as you know me.
Jinx yourself.
You know me better than anybody else here. What do you really think the chances of me going up in an airplane and jumping out is?
With guy behind him.
No. I would say the chances are about 1 in 500.
500,000.
And with me now in his life.
Should be 1 in 100 million.
So we're actually not talking about that. We're talking about climbing a tower. That tower that's up on Reynolds Road, they got to change the antenna. So that I don't know where Mike came up with climbing out of an airplane, but whatever.
The Kennedy curse.
Listen, all I can tell you is you've never watched. I've asked you 12 times to watch the Kennedy curse. You don't watch it. Until you watch the Kennedy curse, you shouldn't even go outside your house.
I don't want to hear that ever again here.
Here's the thing. If Maureen is comfortable with him jumping out of an airplane, Maureen would be comfortable with him climbing up a 190-foot tower, free climbing intermittently.
Now you can't even go outside your house.
Different. No, that's different. It's totally different. If he jumps out of an airplane, you have a parachute. You have somebody with you. If you're free climbing a tower, you have no whatever safety anything. You just if you fall, you fall.
All you have is the ability to stay on that tower.
Right, but if you can't stay on the tower, then you're done.
Pretty much.
Okay, so I finally got it out of Randy. She's not comfortable with it, and neither am I.
Wait, she said that she wouldn't be comfortable with it with anybody else, but since I'm the one who's doing it, she knows my abilities, Mike.
Well, I'm not talking about another Randy. I'm not talking about good Randy. I'm talking about you.
Oh, boy.
Perfectly clear.
Now you got her going.
I do not doubt his abilities in any way whatsoever, but no one can have total control over every aspect of every situation.
That sounds like some ability doubting right there.
No.
That's pretty smart for a girl.
Well, I never said, Maureen, you never doubt his abilities, but I know how you feel about this, Randy. You need to consider how your wife feels about this. She's very nervous. She doesn't doubt your abilities, but she's still very nervous. And I'm okay. So it all started with the fact that I was not comfortable with you driving up a 190-foot antenna with some free fall capability. Hey, this is the guy that hugged you in the parking lot. I love you, man. You don't want to be doing this.
So you got her all worked up about this free thing. Do you know what free climbing is, Maureen? I'm going to keep the mic keyed.
Free climbing is, to me, I'm thinking you have no harness, no strap, no...
Okay, so understand. This is totally wrong, okay? I will have a harness on. I'll have the lanyard on. And what free climbing means is you're not connected at all times. But as soon as you stop, the harness hook is here, and you hook it to the rung. The instant you stop, you're attached. Okay, you're just basically climbing up and you stop, you attach. They don't have a cable. On some towers, they have a cable behind you that you've got a little mechanism that hooks to the cable, and as you're climbing, it just follows you. And if you were to let go and just jump off, you would just swing there like a pendulum, okay? So it's a free climb tower, but you're smart enough that you, as soon as you step, hook on. That's it. You're not, I'll never be, you know, when I'm working on something, I'll never be not attached.
Hey, Randy.
Oh, that's not true. Yeah, Randy.
Take a breath. It's a famous night tonight. There's plenty of activity here in the shack. W2 Carol Y for ID. Go ahead.
Wow, there's activity in the shack, Randy.
B squared and W2MEY for ID.
Good Randy's wife, Carol.
Hey, Carol, how are you?
Just great. How are you guys?
We're all good in the Toad Harbor hood, and happy Mother's Day.
You out. Maureen, happy Mother's Day to you. Thanks, Carol. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day, Maureen and Carol.
Thanks, Creepy Mike.
Hey, Carol. So what? Okay, so Carol, I gotta ask you, what did Randy do for you today on Mother's Day?
He took me to the theater and then to dinner.
Wow, Randy, you could get lucky tonight, man.
Maybe not, pervert.
Maybe not.
What did you see at the theater?
A Midsummer Night's Dream.
Oh, you're definitely getting lucky. Mike.
Hey, Mike, I'm lucky every day.
Oh, that's so fun.
When you're married to a woman like Carol, you're lucky every day, right, Randy?
You betcha.
You're such a diplomat, Randy.
I got your back, bro.
May 20th will be 25 years.
Oh, my gosh. God bless you.
Go ahead, sir.
God bless me.
So, Carol, did Randy get you drunk?
Well, I'm on my way. Second bottle of wine tonight.
Oh, a second bottle. That a girl.
So, Carol, I saw that same play at the Walnut Theater in Philadelphia.
Was it good?
Oh, it was fantastic, you know, and I have to say, I did get lucky that night.
What? Mike, I was on 40 meters telling everybody about the Great Toad Harbor Net, and you're bringing us down.
No, I'm not bringing it down. Hey, that's just real life.
What, is 7,200 all of a sudden?
Holy cow. Randy, what are we going to do with this guy?
All right, Carol's got to go.
Bye.
Carol, cover your ears.
Carol, you're a good woman. There's not many of us left.
Good night, Carol. 73.
Love you, Carol.
WB2HRO, Queens, New York.
Yeah, the Queens, New York station. Go ahead.
Yeah, just listening to the side, tuning around the band, and 160, you guys the only ones here, at least the only ones I can hear. I wonder where you are. I heard the YL, I heard you. So they must be at 3 of you guys on there, right? Over?
Do me a favor. Take a big piece of paper, write down 1930, write down the world-famous Toad Harbor Net. Because whenever you come in here, you always say, where are you guys at? Come on, this is the world-famous Toad Harbor Net.
Yeah, but we're not all in Toad Harbor.
No, but he knows where we're at. Come on.
No, I really don't.
We're all over. We're in Pennsylvania. We're in New Jersey. We're in Connecticut. We're in New Hampshire, Maine, and even some people from New Jersey.
But there's only one guy in Toad Harbor.
Well, he knows where Toad Harbor is.
See, if you want to get your listenership up, you got to have a couple women getting on every night.
Well, the net might be based in a certain place or something, but I just wonder where you guys are located, that's all.
I'm located right near Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, Norway 3 Radio, Mexico Radio.
So I figured I'd
Double.
get an idea of how well I'm getting out on this band on 160. But this antenna of mine amazes me from time to time. how much what I hear and what I don't hear. But anyway, interrupt. Carry on. WB2HRO.
Very good. You're actually like 15 over here in Utica, New York. In New York, just north of Utica by 22 minutes. But name here is Mike, Whiskey 2, Mike Uniform Radio.
This is Norway 3 Radio, Mexico Radio near Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. The name's Mark.
Mark, you're 59 plus. The other station before you was my noise.
Oh.
That's how it is. Over.
Yep, conditions are still leveling out. It's still early this evening. Randy, the guy with the YL in the background with him, he's actually in Toad Harbor, New York.
Joe knows where I'm just curious about one thing. Hey, Mike.
For 162 to be working the way it should. You're probably right. But whatever. It's funny. I'm on 160 and 80. 40, I have such a high noise level, I can't really use it too well. And 20 isn't too much better. Usually here are 80. 80 seems to be, but I couldn't work too many, so I said, let me try 160, and there you are. All right, I'm going to say 73. I'll be on the side. WB2HRO.
Hey, Joe. Joseph?
Yes, go ahead.
This is Randy. My friend Mike wants to call you. He's just on the road a little bit. Mike, go ahead and call Joe. WB2 Hotel Radio Oscar, like the ham radio outlet.
WB2 Hotel Radio Oscar. This is Whiskey 2, Mike Uniform Radio. How you doing, Joe? We're located here north of Utica, New York.
No, I know you're in there, but it's really hard to copy you. You're just right at the noise level.
Can you say piss week?
Well, he's got a bad noise level. He's got really bad noise level there, Randy.
High noise level. Anyway, it's good to hear you, Joe. Nice to hear you. This is Randy. We've talked many times here. So, anyway, you're doing a good job up here. You're 10 over S9.
Okay. Very good. See you and we'll work you again. WB4.
Yeah, you're doing about 10 to 15 over down here in Harrisburg, PA, too, Joe. Have a good night.
Yeah, you're doing a good job up here. See, it depends where you are and using, I guess. Whatever. That's how it is.
Joe, what do you have on sale this month? Is there any good deals on the 7610?
Oh, you're going there yet?
Did you get that mic tonight?
He didn't get it.
So, Joe, what radio tonight, Joe?
Relay. He gone.
Joe, Mike would like to know, what radio are you running?
I'm running a 10 with 940 into 100 feet of 26-gauge wire through a SGC 231 tuner, and the one's in an easterly direction. My window is 60 feet up. I'm on the 6th floor, and the other end is about...
No wonder you can't hear me.
So
26 gauge?
That's it. Over.
Yeah, the 940 is not a great receiver. I mean, I know that in its day it was, but if you were to upgrade that, say, a 7300 or something, you'd probably hear Mike with no trouble, and the rest of the guys with no trouble. That's just a noisy floor on that radio. And I know you probably don't want to hear that, but that's a simple fact is that radio is not the greatest. But anyway, we've talked about it times before. No sense of talking about it anymore.
Hey, Joe, KC1RS, you're copying me here in Connecticut, right?
He was talking.
Oh, okay, just checking there. I think Mike needs to check some cables out up there in Utica.
Yeah, I'm checking the cables now, Russ. Hey, Russ, can you help me out? Come over here, Russ, and get these cables checked out for me. I'll be back, W2MUR.
Check his cables.
Go check.
I got to drain my cable. Stand by.
It's not you, Mike.
Okay, everybody stop talking. The 7610 will never survive in the middle of New York. No way.
I find it very interesting that I was big and loud and 10 over and better than somebody close in. I found that interesting.
Well, you're not closer. You're not better than Mike. Mike's further away than you are.
Look, 5 seconds, I was feeling pretty good about myself. Don't ruin it yet.
Yeah, and the Maureen says, give him his 5 seconds.
Thank you.
I got a public service announcement.
Go ahead.
Anybody on 15 meters right now? I'm pretty sure I can hear South Cook Island. It's pretty good.
Well, 10's open.
Oh, I worked that guy before.
I had a hell of a pileup going on 40 meters a little while ago.
Is that 51 AD guy? I worked him before.
51 JD.
What frequency?
Yeah, I worked him on like 15 meters, and I worked him on 20. When I ordered they Cummins used to just blast in down there.
21305.
Hey, Ray.
Yes.
I'm going to check out 21305 on my second receiver.
Well, you know what? When I buy my new 101 MP, I'll be able to do it with higher dynamic range.
There you go.
Don't worry, Ray. Randy's right behind you, hiding underneath that 1.2 kilohertz roofing filter that he needs.
Yeah, as soon as they get the bugs out of that 101, I think I'm going to buy one.
Wow, that guy's bumped. I'm tuned to 160, and he is absolutely booming in here.
That's what I told you.
That guy's got antenna like in the water on the beach.
I always forget how to shut that. Okay, shut up. Yo, man, right? Yeah, I'm okay.
What frequency is he on?
21305. He's really coming in good.
Okay, he's gone. Now we can talk.
Somebody get in there and tell him to switch over to 160.
You know, I haven't had mad enough at me to throw the F-bombs out. We've got to come up with a big scam.
It's in progress. Oh, I got it. Everybody moved to 1855.
No.
No. You took too long to say that.
I had to vomit first.
Yeah, I got to wipe my mouth.
I didn't want to stain my beautiful microphone.
Yeah, I hear him good too.
Really? That high, that pile?
Yep, no sweat. Comes in, no sweat. I didn't even tune the tuner, and I was hearing him.
That's what I mean. I just, without tuning the tuner, obviously I didn't tune it because I was listening here, but he's got a heck of a signal.
Well,
What was
maybe
the
he
freak
didn't
again,
overload Ray.
260?
Hey, question. I wonder if I can my amplifier. See, I haven't tried that. And by the way, Ray, when I changed my antenna height, that took away my RF that I had in the shack.
Yeah, well, that makes that makes sense.
Yeah, I didn't have to change the feed line length. I didn't have to change anything. Just raise the antenna up. No more RF in the shack. But I haven't tried it with 1,500 watts either. But now this is an old amplifier, way before the Whiskey Alpha Radio Charlie bands were available to us. So I may have to change the plate choke in this.
Yeah. It's not on where it's going to be a problem. It'll be a problem on meters, or it'll be a problem on 12 meters.
Did you just turn your amp on, Ray?
Yes. It was on, but I shut it off when I was doing something. I shut it off for a second.
Yeah, so I'll have to check that. I'll check with Dick Baird. Ask him what he thinks tomorrow.
Ask who?
Dick Bird.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he'd probably know the answer to that.
I've got chokes here for an AL82, which would work just fine, I'm sure.
Do you think you could change it by yourself?
I was going to have Mike come over and give me a hand.
Okay, you're all set then. And you can throw a couple LEDs on it, too.
That's right.
Hey, Randy.
And one test.
Oh, John.
Hey, yeah, I'm back. Hey, I got a question. I got a used amplifier. It was given to me for nothing. It's an Amptron. It's AL11H. And no matter, I can't tune it. No matter how I turn the knobs, I get zero out of it. I don't power that I was supposed to get out of it. What do you think is the problem?
Wait a second. What's the model number? The model number you gave us doesn't make any sense.
It's an 811H, I'm sure.
811H.
Yeah, okay. Well, who knows? There could be 1,000 things wrong with it, but the tubes could be bad. It could be a million things.
Hey, Randy, can I give you a little bit of input on that?
I can only get so much power out of it, and that's about it. 300 watts top.
Hey, John, what's that thing showing you for high voltage? Is it showing you about 1,800 volts?
What was that again? I'm sorry, the crackling.
Are you getting a high voltage indication out of that?
Yes, I am.
And when you get up, does the high voltage drop down a little bit, like you're drawing something?
Oh, no, it don't. But the voltage is not where it should be on the instrument panel that I've got here, hooked alongside of it.
Well, I would take out the book. Look up the book. If you don't have the book, look at the instruction manual. Look at exactly what it's supposed to, all the parameters it's supposed to have, and tune it up exactly the way the instruction manual says to tune it up. Look for all the parameters, and that'll be your indicating start of your indication. And if everything seems okay, and the only thing that's down is the wattage out, you probably have soft tubes. But you really should go through the manual and do all the checks that they say to check before you even key the thing to make sure that you have proper operating and all that. It may be wired wrong. It could be running the wrong voltage. But there's a million, like Ray said, there's a million things that could happen to that amplifier that would cause it not to have full power output. And it could have and one thing a lot of guys overlook, they don't look at the SWR in a radio. And if you've got a bad input circuit or something like that, the radio could be dropping the power way, way, way down, so you only got a little bit of power coming out of the radio to the so there's a million things, but you've got to get out the manual and one by one check and then cross off each step to make sure that you're operating it 100% perfectly.
Well, I already did that, but I'll do it again.
Well, what's the plate voltage?
As far as the power output, SWR, it's flat.
What is the plate voltage?
I don't get nothing but about 300 watts up. If I whistle in it, it's fine.
What is the plate voltage?
Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7.
Plate voltage, I don't know.
Hang on, Bill.
Okay. I want to make sure that I was being heard.
Well, if you don't know plate voltage, then everything you're saying doesn't mean a thing.
All right. Well, I'll check the plate voltage then.
Right, it should be around 800 volts, so that's the first thing you got to check.
Yeah, okay.
Well, like
I'll
I
check
said,
that and then get back to you guys, because this is driving me crazy. It shouldn't be.
Well, like I said, John, you've got to open the book and go through it step by step. And the fact that you didn't know the plate voltage tells me you didn't really go through the book that well. So just go through the book and read it, step by step. Check this, check that, whatever the parameters are. And if you do all those things and everything checks out and you still have low power output, well, you probably got bad tubes.
Is the amp in line right now?
The amp is in line as I speak to you.
Okay, are you running? Is it on?
It is on.
And it's showing about 300 watts going out, right?
Is he on PEP?
Everybody stand by. Are you using a peak reading watt meter?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so when you shut the amp, when you put the amp into standby, you're showing 100 watts out from the radio, correct?
You are correct again.
Okay. Now, are both controls, on the tuning controls, are both of them in range?
According to the book, right.
Well, listen, trust me when I tell you, the book, where the book tells you to set those controls means absolutely nothing. So have you actually put in a CW carrier like we all do here and then tried to adjust them?
And that is correct again. But that's where I tune up at. The radio at.
Okay. So now back to control. Are the controls in range? Are they somewhere between 0 and 10?
What was that again? Between what?
The tune in the low control. I'm assuming on one side is 0 and the other side is 10. Are they in the center somewhere?
Right now, no.
Where are they?
Well, the load is on 1.5, and the load is on 6.5, and the plate voltage is 1.5.
Okay, well they sound like they're in range. Okay, now look at the plate voltage, and that's the last question. Make sure the switch is in plate voltage, and what's the resting plate voltage?
I would say that thing won't move.
You know, it sounds to me like you don't really know how to run the thing, and that's extremely dangerous with a high voltage amplifier. Read the book. Put the thing into the plate voltage mode, so the meter is reading plate voltage, and without transmitting, see what the plate voltage is.
Yeah, okay, I'm going back to the book then. You're probably right. I'm not too accustomed to this. You're probably right. In fact, I know you're right.
Yeah,
right.
you got to take your meter switch and put it into HV,
book and knowing what you're doing.
And then you should be reading about 1,700 volts for your plate.
Now the other guy there, go ahead.
All right, thank you, fellas.
All right, John, but just, check out the book. Just in your plate voltage, he asked you what your resting plate voltage was. So that should be the indication when you're not tuning. Not your current level, but your plate voltage. So just go back to that, read through the book, and then we'll be here for a while. So just read through that quick and come back to us. Hey, Bill, up in Michigan, go ahead.
Well, I just want to pass some information over to Randy there. I tried getting him 2 or 3 times, and I wasn't sure if we were getting out there. Are you talking about the 77, Randy?
No. 77 is perfect. We're talking about John up there in Buzzard Bay has a problem with an 811H.
Okay, yeah. I know about the 811. I'm talking about when you were saying something about 12, 17, the work bands. I will guarantee you I had a skid on 12 meters all winter long with a friend of mine that it was out in New Mexico, and I've used it until 17, 15, no issue whatsoever.
Oh, good to hear that. Well, that's awesome. I should have reached out to you to begin with. I didn't know you were a VHF guy.
No, the only time I use those bands, let me hear.
Ray?
Calling me?
Only when I had a skid already.
Yeah, okay, very good. Well, I was afraid to try it on 17 meters. I love 17 meters, and but I didn't want to try it until I found out if the plate choke would be okay.
And the reason I did that was because I talked to Dick Bird, and when he looked up the serial number, he says, you have one of the winners. And if it wasn't, just for the first time you would try something, that choke will go, poof, it's gone.
Yeah, and I was going to change it out, but I was going to call Dick tomorrow and ask him. But thank you so much, Bill, for letting me know. Now I feel very confident that I can go and rule 17 meters.
There you have it there. So, okay. Yeah, that's all I wanted to, give you an input on. Just calling him up and, him going through the records and all that. Save everybody some aggravation, that's all.
Well, I sure do appreciate you. He's a great guy. I've been talking to him quite a bit, actually.
Oh, yeah, I know he is. He is awesome there. By the way, I changed one on my antenna there. I got some brand new feed line on it. I got one of those Ballon Designs Ballon for the off-center fed, so hopefully everything's working okay there. And, everybody sounds great. I have no problem hearing anybody.
You're 20 over to me. You've got a good, strong signal to me. No sweat. You guys hearing Bill okay up in Michigan? Bill's the gentleman, the nice, the stellar individual that sold me this wonderful amplifier.
Well, yeah, I figured that out. Hey, by the way, what's going on with Bob 2D?
I talked to him last night. He was out to dinner. He came in after you cleared off, and he said, Randy, is the coast clear? I said, you're safe, 2D. Come on in.
I can't believe he didn't put up that antenna yet.
He put him. His words were, "I put myself in exile until I get the antenna up and operating correctly." So he may be in here tonight, but he was afraid that he would be thrown off the net.
No, but I would seriously be considering a court-martial.
Let me see if I can't rattle his cage a little.
Oh boy, there's some serious stuff going on here. Maybe I need to change frequency.
Who said, "Hey, Randy"?
I'm thinking of putting up a full-wave loop on 150. How do you think that'll work?
They suck. I wouldn't put up a full-wave loop no matter what. They're just the worst antenna going.
Okay, well, I gotta get some dry weather. I can't go out in this slot.
A guy like you afraid of a little bit of rain?
Some idiot came out and put up my X-beam in the rain, but I can't get him out of here again.
It seems like you're right. I forgot about that. That guy. No, he's no good.
Yeah, he's a crazy climbing towers. I don't think he even had a belt on.
Don't even start going there, Tim. These guys are already on me.
Yeah, I have a climbing belt too, which is crazy, but I was a rock climber.
Ray, if you knew all the things that Timmy has done in his lifetime, you wonder how's he still alive?
Has he jumped out of an airplane that wasn't on fire?
Not yet, but I'm lucky to be still alive.
Okay, well, anyway, I certainly don't suggest doing that. I don't care who you are, and I don't care what your excuse is. It's kind of a dumb thing to do.
Yeah, I would do it. Not a problem, Ray.
It's safe, Ray. It's just like water skiing.
Yeah, well, hey, whatever. I told you, until you shouldn't. Promise me you won't jump out of an airplane until you watch the Kennedy curse.
Trust me, if that plane's on fire, I'm gonna let it burn for a while before I jump out. I'm gonna calculate how long before I hit the ground.
Okay, now, Russ, did you call me a few transmissions ago?
Yeah, I was going to tell you earlier you were asking, I think his name's John, over in Buzzard Bay, about the drive on that 811H. I wouldn't put 100 watts into an 811H. There ain't no way.
I understand that, but I was much more worried about why it's only putting out 300 watts.
Well, he should play check and see if he's running that thing off of 110. He may be sagging that line, but he's got to hit the HV switch on that, and he should be reading 1700 volts. The tubes might be soft on it. They get that way. I've had one for a few years, and they're not that picky, and his plate and load setting sounded about right for what I used to see on my 160. But if you're not putting 120 volts into that thing clean, you're not going to get that much out of it.
Well, that's why I suggest start with the book, because it's pretty clear what your parameters are before you even key the thing, what to look for, and that's what you really have to know. You have to make sure that you've got the thing wired right. It may be wired for 120 or 220, and he's running 110 volts in the thing. And like Ray said, he always wonder if somebody's running a PEP watt meter when they're reading half the power they should be reading. So there's a lot of, just go by the book first. Get those parameters set first.
N3 VW?
N3 VW. Ray, didn't we used to know a guy that had a cost similar to that?
I don't remember.
N3 VW. No, I don't. Maybe I'm wrong.
Lousy cars. Of course, I don't know that much about them.
I had a few.
What's going on, Kenny? I know he was there. N3 VW. Go ahead.
All right, thanks. The call's in November 3, Echo Victor. Randy, I talked to you, about a week or so ago. Probably more than that. And I was asking about the 3-500 tube. And you definitely hit it on the head there that the tube was bad.
Oh, we were picking on, sorry, Stan, I was picking on somebody else. We actually have a guy with VW in it. But anyway, all right. So the tube was bad, huh?
Yep. Yeah, I ordered up another one from RF Parts, dropped it in there, and took right off. No problem. Running well.
Good to hear. Well, you've got a bodacious signal here into Toad Harbor.
Good. Thanks a lot.
You're like 30 over. That's a nice signal from down there.
Hey guys, I gotta run. I gotta go watch something on TV with Bo Peep. KC1RS. I'll be back in about an hour and a half.
Wait a minute. Ray, did you allow him to leave to watch TV?
Yeah, if he's going with Bo Peep, it's okay.
Yeah, we're gonna throw a blanket over ourselves and, watch TV.
Oh, yeah, I get it.
I don't get it. Somebody explain it to me.
It's cold in the living room.
I am out of here, guys. Have a good night. 7-3. Talk to everybody at a later date.
Thank you very much, Bill, for letting me in on that. That's good information. I should have. I don't know. I didn't ask. I'm sorry, but thank you for letting me know.
Anytime, my friend. Anytime. Like I sent you on Messenger there. Don't be afraid. Anytime. Oh, the doorbell's ringing.
7-2 EXP checking in.
Yeah, this thing's been working great, Bill. I'm heads over heels with this amplifier. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Go ahead, Stan. I'm sorry, Steve.
Okay, very good. Yeah, we're just on 6 meters AM. Group is 5 people turn out on 50.4 at 8 o'clock to about 8:30 or so, 8:45. It's a pretty good little group for 5 people on 6 meter AM. Happens once a week. So we thought we'd come over here and see what's happening. And I know Carl may be over here too, WG2E, so he just wanted to check in, let you know we're little, and we'll be in here for a little while. KA2EXB, Steve in Albany.
All right, very good. Steve came in last night, Ray, about midnight. So did John, BYP.
Oh, yeah, well, that was way past my bedtime.
Then I was on till 2 o'clock in the morning on 40 meters. I love that band.
Well, see, I'm not a DXer, so when you talk to people in other countries, do you have anything to talk about?
Yeah, they tell me how great I sound. What more do you need to talk to about than that?
Well, believe me, that totally explains why you hang out on 40.
It was mostly interstate stuff, and just talking about lots of stuff. We talked about the snow, we talked about the sun, the rain, how great I sounded, lots of stuff.
Did you talk about how good that 101 is?
Yes. I was bragging all about the fact that I convinced our dear friend Randy, one of the Toad Harbor Net main members, to send that radio for testing. Yes, we did talk about that. A bunch of people were asking about that. That was a pretty hot topic last night.
Yeah, well, geez, I managed to sell this 7600 and buy me a new Yaesu.
It's almost the same price. You got to admit, as hams have a lot of really great options right now.
Yeah, and I was telling people earlier, but I'm sure you realize this, Sherwood is doing more for high-performance ham radio than anybody else, and in the whole world.
Absolutely, positively. I was on a Yaesu site, and a guy in there who never stops texting, or never, whatever you call it, never stops adding his information, said that Sherwood won't do a test on that for a long time because he doesn't like Yaesus, and his guy was shooting his mouth off. Well, I'm sure happy that the results came out, and he got explained to why he was so pompous and stupid.
Did you tell him that?
I didn't say a word. I didn't want to get to it, but everybody else did.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Yeah, well, hey, whatever.
But anyway, we have got great choices. I mean, the bottom of the barrel is better than, I was talking to a guy today with an 830, and you look at the modern rigs nowadays, we have so many great choices. I mean, if you want to spend $1,000, you can't do better than a 7300. You want to spend, if you're dumb enough to spend $10,000, well, I'm not sure where I was going with that, but you can spend $12,000 and buy a radio that's pretty good, or you can spend $3,000 or $4,000 and buy a radio that's excellent,
Well, I shouldn't say this. I know this is a stupid thing to say, but, John went up to a ham radio outlet with one of his friends, and they looked over all the radios, and he told me his friend's going to buy a 7610. Now, I'm sorry to say this, but what the hell is wrong with the guy?
It's John's fault. John, and if John's listening, he should take the guy by the shoulder, pull him off, and say, "Excuse me, let me explain something to you," and then slap him really hard. Say, "No, don't do that. Okay, this is why." But John's letting the guy, it's almost like running out in traffic.
Well, I heard that, and I have a great deal of respect for John. But if he wasn't John, I would have said something right then and there. But he's probably listening. That's the worst damn radio made right now today. Okay, right now today, out of all the three manufacturers, high performance radios, that's the made by far. Why would somebody buy one?
Whiskey Golf 2 Echo. What do you want? A Sears Road Talker?
Hi.
Hi, Carl.
I mean, if that Yaesu's as good as Sherwood says it is, there's, for a guy who doesn't want to buy a Kenwood, or for a guy who needs the two receivers, there's only one radio to buy.
Well, the thing is, though, which is like what Rob Sherwood always talks about, out of the top 10 radios, nobody with a human ear will hear the difference, will even know that much difference. I mean, maybe with the adjacent channel stuff a little bit, but the top 10 are all pretty much equal.
Well, see, I just certainly don't concur with that at all. You guys just live out in East Bum Blank, so you can get away with it. But if you lived in the middle of New York City, a 7300 or a 7610 just simply is not going to cut it.
Well, that's the thing. He's testing out in Colorado where there's not much going on. There's not much anything in close.
Yeah, right. Well, that's fine. But I'm just saying, I mean, a lot of these guys, I was talking to one of the guys in the radio outlet when I went up there, and he was saying that he sold a radio sold a 7300 to a guy that lives like basically across the street from WBZ. And he told the guy, he said, this radio is just not going to work. Oh, yeah, it'll work. Don't worry. It'll work fine. It isn't going to work. I mean, it isn't going to work. 50 kilowatt station of a mile or two away, that's the wrong radio. I was just playing with this radio earlier. I did an interesting test, and listen, everybody out here, listen, okay? Especially if you have a 7610. I was on my big station's on 560 WHYN. It's a 5 kilowatt station, probably 10 miles away. I'm not even sure where the actual tower for that is, but it's certainly less than 10 miles away, 5,000 watts. And there's also a 5,000 watt station up by Randy, and there's a 5,000 watt station in the Bronx, WMCA, which used to play golden oldies back in the 60s. Now they're a religious station. So just for the hell of it, I was listening on 570, and I said, I'm going to hit preamp 1. I hit preamp 1, it goes up 10 dB, still hear it. I hit preamp 2. Now keep in mind, everybody, listen careful to what I'm saying. This radio has better than 20 dB gain on preamp 2, not the piddly 14 dB or less that the 7610 has. And even with 20 dB on top of on the AM broadcast band, WMCA still comes in perfect. All you hear is WMCA. You don't hear buckshot. You don't hear all the crap coming in. Now that's 20 dB gain right on the broadcast band, and this radio can still do it. So, I mean, if I did that with the 7610, either preamp, you don't hear anything. The radio just goes schizoid, and it just falls apart. You couldn't hear anything. That's just nuts. So that's just the way it is. The new radio, and as much as I'm not a Yaesu fan. I'm less of a Yaesu fan than a Kenwood fan. I mean, Yaesus don't do a hell of a lot for me, but I mean, if you're going to go buy a radio in that price category today, there's only two, either the Kenwood or the Yaesu, and obviously the Yaesu's a better deal because it has two receivers. I'd be a little leery if it can't go 4kC wide on transmit, which I find it hard to believe. The 3000 can, so I'm sure that one can, but I would prefer to have it go 4kC wide on transmit. But the fact is, for the amount, in 6 months that'll be down to $3,500 or $3,600. There's the radio to buy without any doubt. Period. End of story. Okay, N1DBL. That's my pontificating for tonight.
KD1 MW.
MW.
Hello.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
You look good.
Yeah. How do you know?
How do I know?
I got a video camera on me.
You've got your computer on right in front of you.
Oh. Yeah, I figured it's cloning me.
What are you running? You sound different.
Yeah, he does sound different.
Well, I heard all the bad press here on the 7300, so I put it aside. I went back to the Yaesu.
When you first came in, I didn't even recognize who it was.
Stop. Am I driving it enough, or does it need more mic gain?
No,
well, you got too much mic. You actually have too much right now.
Okay, I don't know. So I'm going to, if I can remember what knob. Okay, it's this one. Back. Any better?
Way better.
Still this. No, okay. It may be better, but it certainly doesn't sound like the other radio.
Maureen said, "Is that Bruce?"
Yeah, I know. Well, different microphone too, which it's not the better of the D104s.
You can come back a bit more, but now it sounds more like you. Before it was just, yeah, Maureen didn't even know your voice.
Okay, I'll bring it up just a little bit so I know where to put it. Okay.
Now you sound great.
Maybe the compression's too loud, too high. I guess not. It's just tickling it.
What radio is that? Which Yaesu is it?
It's the old 990 that I have sitting here.
Okay. Well, you saw I take it you looked up the specs on the new 101, right?
No, not yet.
I can't get one, so I won't look it up right now until I can decide to buy a new one. But I'm not going to buy a new one, so I'll take your word for it.
Well, I wouldn't buy one now either, but all I'm saying is, I mean, that everybody was waiting, and they finally came out with the damn thing, and it's spectacular. I mean, it's in the number one position, right?
Yeah, I heard that, yes. But you know what? If I was to decide which radio I'd rather listen to, this 90 has it all over the 7300.
Oh, that's very surprising. Does it have a cleaner sounding receiver?
Yeah, it's nicer sounding and more comfortable.
Yeah, well, I was always a little skeptical of the 7300's quality of receiver. But from what I'm hearing from the Yaesu guys, preliminary is that it's a really, really good sounding receiver.
Do I sound more handsomer on the 990 than I do on the 7300?
Oh, man, do you?
That's the one you should keep running right there.
Wow, wow.
Which one does he have more hair on?
Depends on what amplifier he's using.
I talked to everybody on 40 meters today, the entire planet, and I told everybody to listen in on the world-famous Toad Harbor Net. I hope nobody paid attention.
Well, just think, here's an ICOM guy who owns a Kenwood telling everybody the new hottest radio out there is a Yaesu. Now, we know that, see, I'm one of those really fair people. I'm not brand dependent. I told you guys that years and years, and I'll bet you there wasn't one person in here that ever believed that I would ever buy a Kenwood.
I'm so confused, Ray.
Just like Trump's tax returns. No one really bothers with that.
I'm very confused.
KA3SBK.
Hi, Chris.
Hello. Listen to the spicy conversations.
Spicy, you say. KB2ZVP on the 13. Hey, Chris, you're W2MUR.
I take it at face value.
I heard the general in there.
You're kidding. The general's finally here? Speak up.
Which one?
You.
Colonel Klink?
Sounds like his antenna shorted out.
Come on, Tootie, get that thing wound up.
Yeah, I will. I'm on my ICOM 718.
Oh, my God. Why are you torturing yourself?
Do that for Ray.
So, listen, you haven't been, well, you must have got the word about the Yaesu, right?
Not the full word. What's up?
Well, okay, go on Sherwood's website. Here's your first. I'm giving you a direct, not a regular order, a direct order. Your first business now.
Listen to Ray brag about your radio, Randy.
Website and check out the Yaesu 101.
Yeah, there was a lot of QRM there, Ray, but Sherwood's website got it.
You guys were doubling. Anyway, Bob, your signal's really bad tonight, but don't feel too bad about it because Mike's signal is really bad tonight, too. The band must not be very good.
No, it isn't. You guys don't
Mike.
put out the same amount of power. Well, not really. Let me see what I can do here, but it's not going to get much better.
Come on, Tootie, crank that thing up.
Sherwood's website and check out the Yaesu. You're lucky you didn't buy a radio yet.
Yeah, let me go and plug my 11H into the 220 outlet.
Well, I would go back on your radio, first of all, because tonight's not a good night to be running a halfway radio. Is Mark still in here? N3RMR. I bet you he's dripping oil right now.
It's cold enough, too. I'll tell you that. We've got the coal burner going.
Tonight.
Yeah, I put up my heat on today. Go ahead, Bob. What'd you say?
And if you get a high noise level, I got a lot of buzzing and real loud here tonight.
Did you go back on the Yaesu?
I was always on the Yaesu. I was only kidding you about the 718.
Oh, okay. Well, give it a little more processor. or something. You're pretty much right down to the noise.
How about this? Is this any better? Let me see if this works.
Yeah, you're only a little tiny bit over past 9, and the noise is hitting 10. So I'm really having a hard time hearing you. And the bad mic's usually 30 over, and he's only 10 over. So it's just not a very good night.
Okay, well, I'll be here listening.
You're good to me, Tootie. I'll talk to you. You're 20 over.
I'm always good to you.
I've got this delicious antenna.
Yeah, I know. You got it up higher and everything, and you're thinking when you were doing that, I'm thinking, geez, I think now that I got my line launcher, I can do a lot of neat things here. But if I can get into the wet woods there.
You're almost touching 30. You're like 28 over.
Ah, that's amazing. Okay, thanks.
Raise up there, 30 to 5 to 40 over lots of times.
What am I right now? 1, 2, 3.
About 37.
Yeah, so your meter reads more generous than mine.
Well, I just have a better receiver. What do you expect to happen?
Were you running preamp too?
Yeah, preamp. I've got my preamp 13 on.
Okay, right 30 over. What am I right now?
32.
Okay, now you're 25, 25, 25.
Exactly 30.
Yeah, there's about 5 dB difference between the two receivers. That's okay. This meter is not as generous. Definitely nowhere near as generous as the 7610. That was crazy generous, and I'm sure they did that on purpose because they had to make you think the reason the radio overloads is because the signals coming are so strong.
They had it all worked out.
You know, let me apologize to everybody that has one of those radios, but they are the biggest pile of crap I've ever seen. I mean, it's, the thing, and here's why I'm so down on them, and I want everybody to listen, because believe me, I give this a lot of thought. This is why I'm so down on them. That is one of the most beautiful radios I have ever seen. It is just put together so nice. Everything about it's nice, and they give you a crappy radio. They should stick their heads right where you think they should stick it, because they screwed up something awful. Look at the difference between Yaesu and that pile of junk 7610. I mean, if there's two radios, essentially they cost the same amount of money. Essentially they're the same radio, and look at the difference in performance. It's literally astronomical.
Tell us what you really think.
No, I'm really, really, really big time down on ICOM. They screwed up, and they should just come out and admit it. They should just come out and say, look, the radio's a pile of crap. We screwed up. We're going to build a radio just like the Yaesu or even better, and when we get it on the market, we're going to give the guys that have 7610s a super good deal on it. We're going to sell it to you at cost, which is probably about $900.
What should they call it?
I don't know. They should call it a 7600A.
No, you fool. They should call it 100 MP.
No, it's called the N1 DVL Special.
Who wanted me?
Marcus. You've been called by everybody here tonight.
What do you want?
Okay, you ready? Here's what I called you for. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, all this noise. Here's the there's the processor off. Processor off, Mary had a little lamp. Processor back on, Mary had a little lamp. I just wanted to reaffirm our little test.
Yeah, I like it better with it off.
Yeah, okay.
I can't hear you as much.
With it on.
Well, it's nice and noisy tonight, so it makes a difference.
That's all you wanted me for?
Well, I figured you were in here listening, so I just want to make sure that those bozos on the other bands that keep on telling you to turn your processor off, or you're not listening to them. Mark, that comes back from the 70s and the 80s when processors sounded like crap. You hit the processor and it was just screaming, run together, muffled, sounded like really, really, really bad. Really bad. The new processors are so good that they don't add any distortion at all.
If you got a processor in your audio on your radio, you don't have it set up right.
Yeah. Well, that's what somebody from 1950 is going to tell you.
1950?
Who's on 1950?
I don't mean the frequency 1950. I'm talking about the year 1950.
Oh, there's nobody here that was alive then.
Okay.
Well, Ray was.
1958. How's that?
Ray was around back when Marconi was here.
I was here in 1950.
And Marconi shook your hand. Did he have a soft hand?
No, he had a very firm grip and a English accent.
Back when men were men.
Right, you do realize that he wasn't Italian, he was English.
Manly men. Well, let's put headphones in for the first time on my 7300.
Oh, how'd you like that?
Yeah, it's all right.
What did you
really?
do? I didn't hear you. You know.
They're earbuds.
Oh, okay.
I do have to make one comment, however, concerning the audio out.
Hey, do you want a set of headphones that you can put on that?
Well, I'm going to say no. I don't want you to send me a pair of headphones.
Well, I've got a set of Nova 40s that I thought were, back when I was 16, Nova 40s were the best headphones you could buy. And I found a set that were new old stock, really, and they're beautiful, but they're not as good as the headphones that I have right now. But they're pretty darn good headphones. If you wanted, I would give them to you for a very good price.
Well, you send them down here, and I'll send you a money order back. What do you think?
Can I trust them, Ray?
Absolutely not.
Oh my!
I feel I can trust them.
Okay, but I'm not driving down there to pound them. He's too far. He's too far for $30.
You got to haggle first. I ain't buying them if we don't haggle.
I want $1,000 for them. What do you give me?
I'll give you 50.
Done. You won. You're a better man than me.
That's not. Now, wait a minute.
Boy, you sound very
dude.
bright.
We're good. $50. We all heard it.
50 cents?
So what are you running for headphones now, Randy, that are better than the Nova 40s?
I still run my AKGs. I have a set of I've got these magnets in here. They're really like these super powerful magnets. And I just picked up my AKGs and I just went past the magnet and I've got a stack of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these great big magnets and they just clamped onto them. That was the ruckus. But they're AKGs. They're pretty darn good.
A is in Alpha.
Alpha Kilowatt Golf.
See, the trouble is this radio has low output on the phone jack. It really does. You got to turn the volume way up. I don't know. Okay. I always knock. I knock the manufacturers when they deserve to get knocked. And this one, to have a beautiful radio like this with a 1.5 watt amp is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life.
That's all the 7300 is.
No, I think it probably does too because it's a cheap radio. But most radios have 2-watt amplifiers, and a lot of them have 3.
What I like about
3 whole watts. Oh my!
Well, 50% more. That's a lot. What I like about this rig, and your Kenwood doesn't do it, is you can adjust the volume, your regular volume, and adjust your audio volume in your headset, and I like that a lot. But your Kenwood doesn't do that.
Now, we have an issue here addressed from last evening.
No, it does do that. You can turn the volume up, but it's all the way up, and it's still not high enough. Yeah, go ahead, Mark.
You remember the Heathkit tuner I bought?
Yes.
How much would you have paid for it?
Considering I didn't have a tuner and I wanted one, I would pay $75.
Oh, wow. I thought I was cheap.
Yeah, that's a good $100 tuner.
Okay.
What'd you pay?
I'm not going to say.
That's a good though. That's really a good tuner. That's a couple $100.
You know they're going for like over $300 on eBay, right?
Well, I would never ever. Well, if I'm going to pay $300 for a tuner, Mark, I'm going to buy a BT 1500A used for like four. I paid $4.25 for mine, and I can assure you that if I handed it to you, you would have swore it was brand new. I paid $425, and this is the ultimate tuner.
No, Ray. I already have the ultimate tuner. I was just buying this one because it's nice to have a backup, and I'm using it. You wouldn't believe what I'm actually using it for.
Hey, Ray.
Yes.
You know the nice thing about Mark's tuner, the bobbing for apples tuner.
I know exactly. Believe me, I thought about it too. It's really a good idea. He throws his clothes in there, throws a little clothes washing liquid in, and he puts a motor on the two capacitors, and he does his wash.
It's liquid cooled.
Well, yeah, that you put that behind my amplifier, you could actually watch a smoke rise.
Yeah, right. Well, isn't it in a big, heavy-duty tub, so when the parts explode, they won't go through and kill you?
That's right.
No, it's wide open at the top. It's a bobbing for apples tuner.
It's not open at the top.
It certainly is.
Why open the lid on the top so that you could see the guts in it? It's closed on the top.
That's perfect. Then when the parts explode, they'll just, you can just turn it upside down and all the junk will fall into the trash can.
You guys must think I am some half-cocked amateur or something.
Oh, my God. We don't even think that good of you.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure where I was still on the scale.
You didn't drop a single rung of the ladder. You're almost to the bottom.
Okay. So I'm used to being there, so I feel real good.
89 CH. Hello from Indiana.
Yeah, here we go. I got a question for you. You know that MFJ 909 mobile mattress?
No, I don't know anything about an MFJ matcher. I've never had one.
Oh, really? Okay, well, I didn't even had one.
Get rid of it as fast as you can.
Yeah, why would anybody want one of those?
Because that's what, if you look at the book, I've been running for a couple of years, and if you look at the book, what's his name, Charlie suggested to have the mobile antenna matcher.
Oh, the capacitance matcher?
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Well, I don't know. I had an issue with my antenna, right? So I put new coax and everything, and then I took the passive. I took it off one time before, and you know that ring that goes all the way around with a capacitor. It looks like it's got a broken spot in it. But I don't know if it comes that way or it might have been. I don't know.
It has to have. If it was a continuous ring, it wouldn't do anything. So, yeah, it has to have an open spot. And it can't be continuous because if it were continuous, it wouldn't do anything.
All right, well, I don't know what's causing it anyway to shoot up. I don't know, maybe it's that box acting up. I don't know.
He might have a carbon arc.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. What band is it acting up on?
It's acting up on all of them, man. I can't get my standing wave down. I don't know. I don't know. I shot some contact cleaner in that box there, but I don't know. I put new coax on there because, well, I might ran coax right in, but I thought, I don't know what the deal is.
Does the antenna have any kind of marks on the outside?
No. I mean, the coil's good, man. I metered the coil. The coil's good.
Have you operated the tuner and with it open and watch what happens inside when you run power through it?
No, I haven't. I was kind of nervous about that one, but I can't get my standing wave down. So now I hate on 17 meters, real good standing wave on 17 meters. That's about it.
Is the antenna going up and down? I mean, are you confirming that the antenna is tuning?
I guess. I don't know. I mean, it's I can hear the motor running.
Yeah. Did you put the magnet on the outside of the antenna? Does the coil go up, or the piston go up and down?
No, I never put a magnet on it. I didn't know you could do it. I didn't know how you did that.
Well, when you buy the antenna, it comes with a magnet attached. There's a metal spot on the plunger, and when you run the matcher, or when you run the motor, the antenna goes up and down.
I don't know. I bought it used. I don't know.
Well, if you go on Charlie's website, you'll see where the magnet goes, and then you can watch the thing go up and down and tune. You got to confirm that that's happening.
Well, it must be doing something. If I was able to get 17 meters in real good.
Yeah, 17, 20, that should be very, very close to each other. And then you've got a little bit further down, and then you get 40, and 60 is a little bit further down than that. I can't fix it from here, that's for sure.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to figure out what to do with it.
My wife's calling me. Be back in a minute. 2 ZVP.
Hey, Ray, you there?
I am.
What am I looking up on Sherwood's page?
Well, go to Sherwood Engineering and look up the whole list of radios. Just look them up and just go start at number 1 and go down and find the Yaesu.
I didn't know if there was something specific you wanted me to look at.
Yeah, I want you to look at the place on the list where the Yaesu 101 is.
FTDX 101 Delta, looks like it's number 1.
That it is, number 1.
So that's in and the 890S is out?
Yep, it's got everything beat. It's thing of radios.
And for that price break on that, they're probably going to end up selling quite a few of them.
Oh, they'll definitely. That radio's going to sell, man. It's going to sell, and it's going to bury the 7610. They might as well just, I don't know what they're going to do with that thing. They might as well figure out. they might as well gut it. And, I have a great idea. Maybe they could buy the Yaesu 101 wholesale and put it in the 7610 box.
Do you know how many millions of these 7300s alone they've sold?
Yeah, the 7300 was a fabulous radio for the money. And it was, people didn't expect it to be the world's greatest radio for $1,300. But those radios are cheaper to build. You have to understand, an SDR radio is a very cheap radio to build compared to the old style radio. So therefore, they can build them cheaper, and they made good money on it, and they did a good thing. But what their huge mistake was, they tried to just build a big 7300 and charge $4,000 for it, and that was their mistake.
Yeah, and with displays and the preamp issues and all the other issues, yeah. They're going to take a bit of a hit on that, but I'm sure it's not going to put them down. But they'll come up with another model, and they won't make the same mistake again, I'm sure.
Right. Well, they shouldn't have made it this time, but Kenwood and Yaesu could clean their clock with very little difficulty.
Let's just say that you gave them impetus to get their butts working harder.
Right. Well, they're going to have to get rid of that toilet and come up with something better, because they're just, they just can't. They were number 1 for a long, long time, and now they're number 3. And that's a big change.
Numbers look, the noise floor, and what's the other one there? The sensitivity. They look fairly comparable. The 890S and the 101D, except for the noise floor and the sensitivity, are the only ones that really stand out to me. Maybe AGC threshold.
Look at the 20 kilohertz. Here's the important things. Okay, the noise floor is pretty much the same on both radios. The thing that's important is the 100 kilohertz blocking dynamic range. Okay, the Kenwood's 151, the Yaesu's 147. Now, the way Sherwood lists the things, Sherwood puts in order best 2 kilohertz spacing. So go to the 20 to the right hand side, and you got 20 kilohertz and 2 kilohertz. The Kenwood's 106 and 105, and the Asus 110 and 110. That's very impressive. Now, the other thing that's important is the ultimate filter. The Asus 115, the Kenwood's 118. So, I mean, basically they're very, very close. That's true. You probably wouldn't see much difference between the two radios, but the point is that Yaesu still has 2 receivers in it.
Yeah, I got you. All right, thanks for the info. More research.
I mean, I wouldn't run out and buy one because I'm not a Yaesu person and I don't particularly like the looks of the radio. I'd have to see it in person. I'd have to go look at it, but I don't particularly like the looks of the Yaesus, and that makes a big difference to me. And I'm not sure I can transmit. I'm not sure yet. I find it hard to believe, but the 3000 you could go out to 4 kilohertz bandwidth, and that one there appears to be only 3. But I think eventually it'll transmit at 4 kilohertz bandwidth. I just think it's a hell of a radio for the amount of money. And both the Kenwood and the Yaesu are both really, really, really excellent radios for the amount of money they cost. The one just the one you don't want to buy is the 7610, because not only is it a problem radio, it overloads at the drop of a bucket. So, I just want to be aware that is the number 1 radio right now, and that's cleaned everybody's clock, and that's pretty damn impressive.
Yeah, I get it. All right, well, I'll look into it. I know they were on the cover of Ham Radio Outlet, and they had some pretty big articles on them. Not articles, but just nice color ads so you could see them.
They pay for those.
Hey, Ray?
Yes?
There's still one question I got to know.
What is it?
101 is, it could be a problem. What is the best microphone for it? And what is the profile that works best for it? Does anybody know that yet?
For the 101?
Yes.
Well, nobody knows, but I mean, it's always going to be the professional series microphone. I mean, it's going to be a Electro Voice or it's going to be that MXL, one or the other. I would say it's got to be one or the other.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
You know the answer to that. You've got a 991 sitting there.
Well, I know that, but Ray may argue the point that my radio sounds like, you know what?
The answer to that question is, it all depends. Depends on your voice, your range, your microphone, the cables, the addition, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, though.
No, I know
some people say it sounds great, and some people may say it sounds horrible. But I'm just curious which one's going to sound best to most people, which hasn't been figured out yet. I'm still waiting for that.
Well, what mic did you finally put on your
There's a lot of people buying them right now. Maybe they're not even out yet, and I truly did get the first one off the dock.
Well, you are a member of the Toad Harbor Net.
I ended up using the RE320 and got the profile set up pretty decent, but being only 100 watts with no amplifier, you probably won't even hear it that well.
Did you ever try the RE320 on the 300?
Yes, I did. I did an A/B test with you, and you thought the MXL sounded, I think, a little brighter.
Yeah, which is normally the case. So if I had a 101, I would buy an MXL. I would go with the MXL and go, probably never look back. I think that MXL microphone is probably a really great all-around mic.
I think it is, too. I do like the RE320. It's so close. They're almost identical, but the MXL is just a smidgen brighter, but the RE320 has a much smoother sound.
Well, I'll tell you what, you sound really, really good. I'd have to honestly tell you, I think you have the best sound in 7300 out here. That thing you just couldn't sound any better than you sound.
That's why I'm not going to touch them. I'll leave it alone. I can try and get on the air with the FT991. I have the wrong antenna, but I think you might hear it. But it's a hit and miss still.
Yeah, don't bother. This radio sounds so good that, unless it's going to sound better than this one, I don't want to hear it. And this thing really, you got a great connection there. Make sure you tell everybody if they get one of those, what preamp to buy, because that preamp, I was astounded. I've never heard a preamp really sound better, but you sound way better with that preamp, way better. And there's somebody out in the background. I can't hear you, but Randy, listen up. Maybe you can hear him. N1 DVL.
It wasn't me.
No, it's not you. It's somebody way out there. Whoever you are, I can't hear what you're saying. Randy, can you hear him?
I just got back.
Okay, the station, try it again, way out there. See if Randy can hear you. Go ahead.
This is KB1RYL.
I know he's in there, but I have no clue what he's saying.
Okay, how much power are you running? Yeah, okay, I heard you say 200 watts. There was no lightning at the time, but this is, we're getting into summertime conditions, and unless you can run the 15, you might as well, I can tell you just ain't going to make it here on 160. I mean, I can hear you in between the lightning crashes, but when the lightning's running, I can't hear one word you're saying, and I don't think anybody else can either. N1 DVL.
Do you have any idea where he's at his call?
RYL? Was it RYL? Does that ring a bell? Yeah, KB1RYL,
right?
RYO. KB1RYO. Okay, look him up, see where he is.
Yeah, well, I copied, he's obviously real close to you. He's in Massachusetts. Yeah, okay, so it is. It's Minster, Mass.
Oh, yeah, we've talked to him before. Yeah, okay. Well, anyway, you're all done talking on 160 until you get a big amplifier, and considering the way it's so noisy in the summertime, I think you have a full-size antenna. I'm pretty sure you're running a dipole, but you got to have 1,500 watts, and you got to have a good speech processor too. Okay, 7-3 for now. N1 DVL.
Yeah, that's Ken from out there. I've talked to him before on I think he was on over the weekend on 838 when we were on there a couple weeks back.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, you gotta have 15 watts in the summer on 160.
Well, you gotta have a good antenna first of all.
Well, a good antenna at 1,500 watts. Really, what you really need is you need a full wave loop at 150 feet with 10 kW going into it.
Yeah, that would do it.
N2EWM.
I'm working on it. Who's the weak one? I think there was a mobile in there.
Maritime Mobile.
You said Icky?
You wise ass.
How you doing, Gary?
I hope you guys can hear me on Barefoot.
I'm just curious, you move 300 gallons of fuel into your boat in 5-gallon buckets.
Whew, that's going to take a while, mister.
I'll tell you what. So how far do you have to drive for fuel now?
Lucky for me, when my boat goes back in the water, I'm going to the gas station, and I'll throw in 150 gallons on the way through there, and that should last me a couple years.
Remind me of... This is funny. You remind me of the Tyson chicken guy. Did I ever tell you the story?
Yes. Oh, well, my boat holds 400 gallons, and I think I've got probably 150 on it right now, so if I throw another 150 in there, I'll be good to go.
Right. Well, the Tyson guy has a $11 million boat without equipment on it, and he has a full crew that works on it from 8 in the morning until 5 at night, and he shows up once a year to take the boat out. And the time I saw him show up, they pulled the boat out in the middle of the harbor and just dropped the anchor about 200 yards offshore.
Yeah, that's me, right? That's me. No, I mean, well, our lake is only 23 miles long and 6 miles wide. There's not too much you can go wrong there, but I plan to venture. I'm going to venture east this year, I think.
Yeah, you're going to go east, so I got something stuck in my thing. You're going to go to Cape Cod? I'll meet you.
No, I might head over toward the Albany area there and see what's that way. I've never gone beyond below Lock 22 there, so I'm going to see what's on the other side of that one there, because there's nothing the other way interests me.
Yeah, okay. So can your boat fit down the Erie Canal?
I am in the Erie Canal, yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, much larger boats than that can go through the Erie Canal.
Okay, I thought it was kind of small. I've seen pictures like in maybe movies from way back where they used to have the horse-drawn carriages pulling the barges.
It's not quite like that nowadays.
Okay.
You'd be surprised, Randy. There is some narrow spots there where you would be amazed at some of those ships that come through there. It's like, how the hell did you guys come through? I would hate to, I mean, I got a pretty good sized boat. I would hate to run into one of those guys coming the other way. I'm not really sure who would have wave there, because there is some tight spots there. I mean, when I'm going down the center of it, you got probably 30 feet on each side there, and it sounds like a lot, but you know what? That's not all deep water, so to speak. But I've seen. Well, they've got the one. This thing is gigantic. It comes up out of the city and it goes up to Canada. It's like it's a cruising casino there, and it's an electric boat. It's like it comes up every week on Saturday night there, and it's like in stealth because I've only seen it one time, and I went out back of my boat there to go to the bathroom like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I see this thing, and I'm looking, and I'm like, it looked like a hotel. All you see is like windows and lights, and it was like 4 stories high, and I'm thinking, what in the hell was that thing? Well, it's a big barge that everybody, it's a big bus that everybody jumps on in the city there, and they take the bus, and it goes all the way up to Canada for the casinos there, and it's they do it every week. It comes up every Saturday night there, and it stops on our wall. It gets there around 1 o'clock in the morning, and then it takes off like 4:30 in the morning there. So it's only there for a couple hours, and so if you sleep all night, you'll never even know it was there. But I was amazed to see that thing, and that thing is huge. It's got to be 100 feet long.
Yeah, CBS, I think it is has the largest ship I've seen on the Mohawk, and I used to have a plant right on the river, and it was 100 feet long, and it took them almost 4 hours to pull enough water in to lower it enough where it could get beneath the Fonda Bridge. It was pumping water onto it to lower it into the water to displace enough where it could go beneath the Fonda Bridge. It was 150 feet long, the largest ship I've ever seen on the Mohawk River.
You know what? That might be why they stop at the wall before they go into the bridge, because they might be doing the same scenario there, because they're only there for like 3-4 hours, and they might be doing that as well there, because that boat is so huge. I don't know how they can make it under that bridge there, the one there on 31 there, because that's not a very high bridge. Most boats that come through there, they're like 70 footers there. Their bridge has hydraulics on it, and it'll collapse down, for that, so they can get under their low bridges there. But that might be what these people are doing as well there. That's a good thought there. I never thought of that.
Hey, I'm heading in, guys. Have a good night. KT, Tootie.
25 over. Good night, Tootie. You got a big signal here.
Thanks, Randy. Have a good one.
Yeah, you went up to me too now. You're 10 over 9. So that's your normal signal here. It's about 10 over 9.
Yeah, I turned my processor up a little bit.
Yeah, it made a huge difference because now I can hear you.
Yeah, I don't like to overload the transistors, right?
Hey, listen, if the radio's made right, it shouldn't be any issue. So that's the Yaesu you're running, the 1000, right?
Yeah, it's ST-1000MP. I'm still learning how to operate it. Remember, all I used to do was send CW before, and I have all these other knobs before. Catch you tomorrow. Have a good one.
Okay, 7-3. See you later on 1 DVL.
Roger. Good night.
Yep. Good night, Tootie. KB2ZVP.
Yeah, it's a really cruddy night because you're like 20 over 9. Mike was only over 9 earlier.
You're about 30 right now at your peak.
And you're 25.
Yeah, John came last night and was commenting on my signal was big up there, 55 over. So I think the antenna is better now that it's up a little bit higher.
Absolutely. I'm telling you, the ultimate antenna would be a loop at 125, 150 feet, probably 150, even 200, because it's always going to give you the omnidirectional pattern. So the loop is the king of the antennas, especially the higher you go.
Randy, are you using hot air balloons?
It's incredible. It really is something else. It's a lot of fun. All right, bedtime for Bonzo. Good night, everybody. KB2ZV. We'll see you all tomorrow.
Good night, Randy. You're 40 over here.
Hey, Doc. We'll see you tomorrow, pal.
Hey, have a good one.
Now, do you let the air out of the balloons to lower the antenna every night?
I never let the air out of anything.
Good night, Randy.
Okay. I know you're on those the balloons now, so all right, and dishwashers. So 3's Randy. Good to hear you in there. And 2 Echo Whiskey, Mike.
Boy, I had my on 3KC on the receiver, and I knew you didn't sound right, and then it just dawned on me, so I opened it up to 4. What a difference. Boy, do you sound great.
Who, me or Randy?
No, Randy. Randy's running one of those old-fashioned radios. He can only go out to like 2.9.
Oh, I love you, Ray.
Yeah, these guys just don't understand what 4 kilohertz bandwidth, how much better it sounds.
I'll take your word for it.
It's like night and day. Night and day.
KXP.
Speaking of better late than never, go ahead, Tom.
How you doing, Ray? I guess I just missed Randy.
Yep, he just left. I'm sure he's still listening. He can't ever just turn the radio off. He's got to make sure nobody says anything bad about him.
Yeah, it's raining here, and it didn't make any difference because we were in a hot tub anyways.
What a life.
It's rough, Ray. Man, it is bad.
Hey, you deserve everything you got.
I hear you.
What are you doing with that airplane? Did you get the double ignition yet, or are you just going to sell?
I don't know yet. I don't know. I'm looking at something different again.
Just remember the Kennedy curse. Do you remember? Remember Sonny Bono?
Yeah, I remember him.
You know him?
Was he skiing and hit a tree or something like that?
Yep, the Kennedy curse, exactly. Then one of the Kennedys, he was doing the same thing. We're playing football on the slopes, and he hit a tree, and he's dead. And then, do you ever see the movie with the identical twin girls? They get separated at birth. The mother lives in England, and the father lives in California.
No, but that sounds like a good marriage to me.
Haley Mills.
What's the name of it?
Haley Mills is her. Oh, geez, I'll tell you in the movie in a minute.
No, that's the original movie. The remake of it was with that girl in Hollywood who's always screwed up on drugs. She was great in it though. She was absolutely great. She was I think she was like 10 or 11 years old in the movie. And The Parent Trap, that's it, Tom. The Parent Trap. Have you ever heard of it?
I've heard of it. Never saw it. Never seen it.
Well, if you ever get a chance to see The Parent Trap, I want you to watch it because the girl that plays the mother in that, also same thing. Another very successful actress, married to Liam Nielsen. That was his real wife. And she was skiing and she hit a tree too. So there's 3 people. They're all dead because of the Kennedy curse.
Wait a minute. The tree had something to do with it too, though.
Well, I understand that. But if you weren't on the slopes, number one, and you weren't, you were paying more careful attention to what you're doing, and you thought about it a little more, you'd still be alive.
Isn't that what happened to Schumacher too?
Probably. I'm sure it's happened to a lot of people, but the thing is, there's 3 people we all know and loved, and they're all dead because of bad luck.
So those trees.
Well, yeah, what kind of tree?
I don't know.
A big one.
Well, Schumacher was like the Formula One king forever and ever.
Right, and he died hitting a tree too?
Yeah, he died on the ski slopes. I don't know.
Right, well, there it is. I mean, it's the Kennedy curse. I begged everybody in here to watch that show, The Kennedy Curse, and nobody's ever watched it. And they really should watch it. It's a great lesson. That in Chuck Yeager's book. Now, Tom, you read Chuck Yeager's book, didn't you?
Haven't had a chance.
Oh, my God. Well, I'll tell you what, if I was you, I would never, ever step 1 foot into that airplane until you watch Kennedy Curse and read Chuck Yeager's book.
That would scare the willies out of me, and then I never would fly it.
No, Chuck Yeager is a great, he's certainly a great pilot, and he's walked away from things that most other people wouldn't have walked away from because he explained it all in the book. But anybody who steps 1 foot into an airplane
better not read that book,
should read Chuck Yeager's book.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I gotta go, fellas. Ray, Tom, good evening. I gotta go. Monday morning comes early. 7-3s all the way around. Whiskey Mike at the top.
Okay, Captain Ron. See you soon. N1DBL.
Okay, good night now. 73, PC3 KXP.
Yeah, I gotta jump out too before I get cursed. This is KD1 Mountain Whiskey.
Yeah, well, before you ever climb that tower again, the Kennedy Curse. I'm telling you, look, come on, I'm a bright guy. I'm telling you, everybody should watch the Kennedy Curse. I think it's either an hour or 2 hours long. Pay very, very, very careful attention to it, and if you don't make the same mistake, maybe you'll wonder. Okay, N1DBL.
Yeah, I don't need to watch a movie to understand that it doesn't pay to be careless.
It's not careless, you know what I mean? It is careless, and it's not careless. The Kennedys always had that they are holier than thou. They are a step the rest of us. They are better bred. You know what I mean? That kind of an attitude, which is wonderful because that makes them a stronger person. But you got to combine it with intelligence, and that's the thing they think they have, but they don't have.
Yeah, I get it. Don't be cocky. Cocky and careless will get you killed.
Right, but I wouldn't call John Kennedy cocky. I wouldn't call him cocky. He just had the Kennedy thing bred into him, and he got into that airplane, and he should have known better. You know, he should have known better, but he didn't know better. That's the problem. Listen, I've talked to airline pilots, and I'm not talking about the one here on this frequency, but I have talked to airline pilots before, and I asked them, typical, normal questions that a pilot that is flying a jet airliner should know, and it would be like me asking you about brain surgery. I mean, these guys, yeah, they can fly the plane, admittedly, but you know what? From a mechanical standpoint, if a screw fell out of the dashboard, they couldn't put it back in.
Yeah, that's pretty scary. I know what you mean. I get it. I do get it. And maybe someday I'll watch the movie, but I don't know when. So 7-3s to all. KD1 Mountain.
Okay, one more quick thing before you go. Do you ever, I don't know if you have cable or not, do you ever watch the Weather Channel and they have that series? Sometimes they'll play 10 in a row, Why Airplanes Crash?
Yeah, I think I did a long time ago when I had the Weather Channel coming in here.
Well, that's a really good thing to watch, because Why Airplanes Crash is basically the Kennedy Curse, And it's just truly amazing. The majority of plane crashes, literally every one of them, is pilot error. And some of them, the stupidity is so in the cockpit that it's virtually hard to believe that there can be 2 or 3 people in the cockpit of an airplane and they can run thing right into the ground because all of them are wondering why this light on the dash isn't on or off, and they fly the plane right into the ground, okay? And this has happened so many times that it's hard to believe. I mean, it's not like it's happened once or twice or 3. It's happened 20 times, and it's just amazing, you know? So that's what I'm talking about when I tell everybody these stories. Okay, good night, all. I'm going to go to N1DBL.
Hey, Ray, before you go.
Yeah.
The last flight I was on, we flew from Erie to Chicago, and I found out that they had a all-women flight crew up there, you know, the pilot, co-pilot, and engineer. And they said that the name cockpit was racist, and now I guess that's known as the box office.
Is this a joke?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure. Sometimes with you, I'm, you know.
You got to listen.
I do. But that wouldn't surprise me in an age, you know, I mean, you have to remember we went through the horrible Obama administration where Christmas was no good. You couldn't have a Christmas tree. You couldn't say Merry Christmas. You know, what a jerk. What a jerk. Okay, good night. N1DBL.
Good night, Ray. KC3KXP. Just easy now. Talk to you tomorrow night.
Good night, Ray. WA3. Remember that box office? Yep, I do.
I'm surprised Ray didn't pick up on that right away.
Well, I sure did.
Yeah, out of this station, you know what you're going to hear next.
I've been accused of that too.
You rolled with a whole crew of walk-on comedians.
Well, that's a good thing. That's the only movies I watch is comedies.
These are guys I worked with. Yeah, to get you out of the way. Hey, get that pail over there and go over to the storeroom there and I'll bring back a bucket of steam.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, when I was 16 years old, I was working in this gas station. And I had a woman bring her car in for me to change the tire. And I put the tire on the machine, took it apart, and put it back together, and I started blowing it up. And she asked me what I was doing. I told her I was filling the tire with air. And you know, it started dinging. She said, what that? I said, it's the pound's pressure putting it in the air. And she says, well, aren't you going to put it on the car first? Doesn't that make it heavy?
Roger.
I said, yes, ma'am, 40 pounds more.
I had a guy that worked for me that some lady friend of his, him and his wife, that he put air in their tires there in Florida. He told her once you get back up to Massachusetts there to have that air changed, that Florida air don't work up north. And I guess she went to the tire place there and told him that, and she shook her fist at him. Best worker I had, and the old gent was 93 years old.
Wow, incredible.
Claude, I'm going to adopt you. You have nothing to say about it. And we were close.
Yeah, I'll be 69 come August. And I've lost quite a few of my older friends.
I know. I just turned 68.
Well, then we're the same age for a little while.
Oh, yeah. And I'll tell you what, guys like World War II and Korea, they had a work ethic, and they were a pure prime example why they were called the greatest generation.
Yeah, that's where my name comes from, was the Korean conflict. My dad was there.
Yeah, Claude was a pure gentleman. There was no getting around it.
What the hell was that?
I think that was that, I saw it here, a UFO went over.
Somebody. Oh, damn, it's loud tonight.
Yeah, it's raining here.
Yeah, it's rained here all day. I don't know if it still is or not. Had to close the window. You can't hardly hear my peepers.
Roger. Like I say, up to about 15 minutes ago, wife was in the hot tub.
Yeah, it must be nice.
Trouble is, I sit here another 10, 15 minutes. I'll get up around 2 o'clock to go to bed.
Yes, I've been known to doze off in my chair, especially in the morning and rooster net. I'll get up and get it all signed in. The band will be bad. There won't be much going on. And the next thing I know, it's like 8 o'clock.
Roger.
Yeah, that Kennedy curse didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. John was hit by a battleship with PT boat right clean, too.
Yeah, PT 109.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Back in the early 60s, a buddy of mine on a T-boat, military surplus, and man, did that thing go, and man, was that thing thirsty.
Oh boy, those big packers use a lot of fuel. My dad bought a wooden rescue boat from the military that they used to run to the islands and pick up the people, and they were evacuating places with.
Yeah, back in the day, I was in Sea Scouts, and we had a motorboat that we run to Canada every now and then, at least a couple, 3 times a year.
The biggest boat I ever had was a 26-foot cabin cruiser. In fact, it was plywood, and it just dry rotted to hell.
Yeah, I've got a 26-foot sea ray that I'm waiting for it to warm up a little bit. Lake Erie is only 46 degrees, and if something happens and you fall in the water without a cold water suit, you ain't gonna last over 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, you ain't kidding, man. Yeah, I've been in cold water. Yeah, it ain't a lot of fun. So what's your Sea Ray got for power plant?
5.7 Chevy, 350, 260 horse.
Yeah, you ever had one of them apart?
I had the lower unit off it when I changed the water pump and greased the universal and the spline. I done that this end of this last season.
I'm not sure if the C50s, but the C27s all had super cranks and special wrist ride, all kind of shit.
Yeah, they said roller rockers, roller lifters. It was put together for sustained high RPM. Yeah, it's a Mercruiser.
Nice. I miss the boat, man. I'm telling you, the best summer I ever spent in my life was down there in Cuba Lake in that cruiser. Spent the whole summer there. The only time I stepped off it was Saturday night to go to the bar, play guitar, and make some money for fuel for the next week.
All right. At our Ham Radio Club meeting, there's two guys that have been out fishing already, and I guess they got for a walleye between 18 and 22 inches, good eating size. So the walleyes are headed down this end of the lake now.
Oh, nice. I fish in my pond every day, but I miss the lake.
Yeah, I have a half-brother wanted me to go the other day with him down in Mosquito. He just got a 20-foot bass cat, a bass boat, and he was trying for a largemouth, and he got himself a 40-inch northern pike.
Some things are scary, man. You ever catch one?
In Canada, yeah. He said you should have seen the teeth on this thing, and no, I wouldn't want to go skinny dipping around in the lake there with that thing.
Oh, my God. I've had that problem in my little pond with the bullheads. Yeah, I've caught a couple of those pike, man. They're vicious, nasty things, man. They take your hand off.
Oh, yeah. Down just 9 miles south of me here at a place called Lake, they claim the next world record muskie is in there. That I guess they netted it several times there, and it's a female that they milk use of it. And when you have the Fish Commission people coming from Warren, Kinzu, down here to fish for this muskie, it's big.
Yeah, I've never caught a muskie. I've heard 16 pictures, but man, some of them are something else.
Yeah, I've never caught a muskie either. Walleyes are hitting in Pymatuning Lake, which is, like I say, 9 miles away from me.
Yeah, walleyes are good eating. Yeah, we catch some on Cuba Lake too, walleyes up the other end there.
I guess they're getting yellow perch in Presque Isle Bay, which is about 12 miles to the north of me.
Oh, man, I'm telling you. I used to go out to the lighthouse on Cuba Lake and take the boat and go up to there's a marker buoy where it drops off in the real deep water. We take the boat out up there at 5 o'clock in the morning to cracking light and just let it drift back towards Ithaca. and cast out there with one of them sliding sinkers and a crayfish. And man, them perch would hit that. Oh my God. And you catch them until they stop hitting, and then you start back up and drive back up to that buoy again, and then dress back towards Ithaca. And man, when they're hitting, and they are so good to eat.
I don't think there's a better eating fish than that perch, Lake Erie perch.
Oh, me neither. maybe puffers, but they're dangerous.
When I had my campground in Florida there, I had a lake there, and that was loaded with tilapia. And man, those things were 18, 20 inches long. And then when the guys would get enough of them, they'd throw a fish fry for the park.
That's sweet. I don't even know what the hell they are, but it sounds good.
Tilapia is a native of Africa.
Yeah, well, I've never fished in Florida. My boy has, but I never did. I've always wanted to catch the sailfish. That's always been a marlin. And I ain't never had the opportunity.
Yeah, I can't. I'd like to. I can't say it's on my bucket list, but I like going after snook. I like going after redfish and the sea trout. I like that.
Yeah, I just love to fish. I don't care. A little tiny bluegill or sunfish, on the right equipment, they're just as much fun to catch as the big ones.
Roger. Let's see, where'd we fish out of? We fished out of Apalachicola, St. Joe Island, up in the Panhandle, Swanee River.
Oh, nice. No, I've never fished in Florida. Been out on the ocean a little bit there in Baltimore, down on the bay, and out on the ocean. Fished there a little bit. My uncle used to have a boat down there when I was a youngster.
I would like to hook up with somebody that, I'm going to say New York, New Jersey, a place to catch these rockfish, the scraper bass.
Yeah, that's most anywhere around New York you can catch those.
Yeah, one of these days I'll make it.
Yeah, I'm afraid my traveling days are long gone.
Roger. I have a cousin, or we have a cousin in Annapolis, that he has his crabbing boat in the backyard. Let's see, he goes after the blue crabs.
Well, you know, in Baltimore, man, I'll tell you, you want to catch the crabs, boy, gee whiz.
Yeah, then when crabbing season's over, he has his crab traps. He has them galvanized, and he's got last we had 87-foot schooner in the backyard that he travels around over on the Med and down in the Caribbean till next crabbing season.
Now that sounds like some life for me, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
as soon as it cracks light, every day during the summer, I'm out on the pond fishing every morning. Yeah. Till it freezes over, and then no more. I don't do that ice fishing stuff. No.
That ice fishing, going on that ice, I don't care how thick it is, that scares me. I want no part of it.
Well, it's the wind, man. I mean, it comes across that ice, and it is so freaking cold.
I spent 37 years working on waterfront. Believe me, I know what that northwest wind is coming across that lake.
Oh boy, it's evil.
Just about every one of us grew beards, and our beards froze.
I got. Well, my beard comes down past my belly button.
Really?
Yeah, really.
If you rode motorcycle, you'd have to put a rubber band in it just to keep it out from whipping you in the face.
Yeah, I wear braids, too.
You say you ride a bike?
No, not since I was 18, really. But I did when I was young. But I wear braids in my beard because it's just in the way of everything if I don't.
Roger.
I used to shave it every spring, but my wife got cancer and emphysema, and we got her through the cancer part. But she asked me not to shave it anymore, so I quit shaving it.
Roger, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's been pretty rough, but she's a lot better now. It's just that she's on oxygen 24 hours a day, and so we can't go anywhere or anything much. I built a little, it looks like a steam train. I built it out of a Ford garden tractor, and we got an oxygen tank on that, and we ride around in that and fish in the pond, and life's good.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I had my bout with that basal cell carcinoma. That you got to see what they done to my nose and my cheek.
Yeah, she had that woman's cancer stuff,
Yeah, Roger.
Six complete blood transfusions and radiation treatments twice a day for 6 months. And yeah, it wasn't fun.
No, but I'm happy to hear that she's better and she's still with us.
Oh yeah, me too, man. I'm telling you, we've been married 50 years, and I don't know. I can't even think about being without her.
I'll tell you, I do not go out in the sun anymore without sunscreen.
Yeah, I should probably think about that too, because I never wear any, and I'm out in the sun. When the sun's out, I'm out. Let's put it that way.
Lately, we haven't had much sun.
That's true. It's been raining and raining and raining.
I guess that the last 15 years in Florida kind of spoiled me. Now up here, 9 months of winter and 3 months of cold, wet weather.
Yeah, it's almost that bad, yep. And WA to ES, bottom of an hour.
KHC3 KXP.
KA3 SBK.
Your turn. Take over.
How you doing there, Tom?
Terrible.
That good, huh?
That good. It's normal. I like it. That way there's no surprises.
That's right. If it can't get any worse, then everything's fine.
Yeah, things are good.
It can only go up, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was out of here for a little bit. I just got back on the radio. So I jump in there and see who's left.
Yeah, Randy, about half hour ago, and Ray probably about 15, 20 minutes ago.
Okay, yeah, I just had to run upstairs, take care of a few things. I can't sit down here all day long. I was on 60 meters from 6:30 to 8:30. And so I said, well, you know, I'll go downstairs to see what's going on with the 1930 Club.
Yeah, I didn't get in here till late.
Yeah, I heard you when you got in there, but it was so busy. Everybody's chiming in, and I couldn't sort of squeeze in there to say hello.
Yeah, the guys on here are quite fast on the key.
I know. I mean, they're so fast on the key that I've heard, actually, one time I heard 4 people at the same time getting into it. And I think tonight, they actually had 3 people.
Really?
Yep. There's 3 people keyed up at the same time. That's almost the norm anymore. It used to be 2, but I think now it's up to 3.
November 1, November, Papa, Quebec.
I thought I heard somebody back. I can't think out.
Yeah, I heard November 1. That's all I could pick up. It's raining here, and I have a high noise level.
So what's new and exciting?
Really nothing. You're still in there, Russ? Yeah, Chris, nothing new and exciting here.
Okay. It almost sounded like you turned your amp off.
Oh, no, she's still cooking.
All right. Well, the band must be going south on me. You were coming in there good, and all of a sudden it just sort of faded out. So I don't know how long the band will hold. Let's see what happens. It's going up and down. I usually can't get in here until 8:30 because the band just all the signals are too low.
Roger.
How's the weather out that way? Is it cold?
Right now it's probably 48, 49 degrees, and like I say, it's raining.
Yeah, it's the same here. We just turned the heat back on. It was okay, but it started to get chilly, so probably pop the heat back on for tonight.
Yeah. I opened up the pool here the other day. That now got things up to 85 degrees.
I got a heated pool?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's nice. A gas, I guess.
Yeah, I've got a gas well on the property here.
Oh, that's great. That's great. What size pool is it?
It's nothing big. 16 by 32.
Well, that's still a pretty big pool. 16 by 32, that's a nice size pool. Is it in-ground or above or in-ground?
It's a kayak pool. It's above ground. I'm going to say I think there are 15,000 gallons of water.
Oh, okay. Does it? Do you have to drain it down in the wintertime?
No. I just disconnect the. I take the pump on the line, and I drain the filter, and the heater. I disconnect that, and I put it in the garage, and that's about it.
Yeah, okay, I didn't know if it was about the ground would freeze and mess up the liners and stuff.
No, hasn't hurt the liner yet, and I've been there probably about 10 years now. And the hot tub, I let that go year round.
No, okay, I didn't know that. That's pretty good. I don't know anybody that had above ground. Most people I knew had in ground around here, but that's it's interesting. My son-in-law just bought a house to flip, and the first thing he did is they had an in-ground swimming pool. He broke that thing up, pulled it in.
Wow. In Florida, I had an in-ground pool there, and I had to be careful how much water I let out of it because it would float out of the ground.
Yeah, you must have been at the water table then.
Yeah, the water table was high. You could never have a basement there.
Yeah, you take the water out of that, if the water gets saturated, if you took the water out, it would like a boat come right up. You get your vets out yet?
No, I was over at the hangar here the other day, and I think I told you I put chrome air cleaner and chrome valve covers on it. And whenever I go over there, at least once a week, I start them up, and I let them run until I get no more condensation out of the exhaust. You know, that way there I don't have to worry about water sitting in the exhaust pipes routing them out.
Yeah, okay. You got just standard mufflers, don't have stainless steel or aluminum?
Yeah, the 86 has stainless, and believe it or not, the 75 also has stainless.
The chance of them rusting out would be slim to none, but it's still a good idea.
Yeah. My diesel truck, that doggone thing has a stainless steel exhaust on it.
Anymore, that's what I see, aluminum or stainless steel. As much as they charge for the vehicles, they should be made better than they used to be. Like, I remember I had an exhaust system replaced at one of the local shops, and they put in the standard, exhaust system. Within 3 years, it was rusted out.
Yeah, the original, on my one-ton dually, the original exhaust, that rusted out in 3 years. And this year, when I have on, man, it's been on there a good 15 years.
Yep, I had the same, a decent exhaust. I don't know if it's stainless steel or not. I just know it's a good exhaust. It was on my Ford Escape hybrid, and I had to replace the flex hose. It rusted out right there where the clamps were at. And I took a new flex hose, got one from the auto store, found one that fit, slipped it over top of it, and it was sort of like gave it a bunch of tack welds the whole way around because it's real tight. So I gave it a bunch of tack welds, so it looked like it was stitch welded is what it was. It wasn't like welded perfect the way around. It was like a stitch weld next to another one, so I didn't want to blow out the existing exhaust system by prying the hole through it, so I just stitched welded it, so it was completely tacked the whole way around. May not have been perfectly airtight, but I don't hear it leaking, so. But I put that in there, and I got that truck in 2004, and the exhaust system, the rest of it's pretty good.
Roger. That dually of mine, that's a 2001.
Is it still in good shape?
Still in very good shape. Less than 200,000 miles on her.
There you go. You sound like me. That Sport Escape I have only has 76 on it.
I could not afford a new one. To replace what I have there, you're anywhere from 80, 90 grand. And I'm not going to live long enough for that.
You know, that makes me sick. I went to a Ford dealership and we're looking at cars. And looking to the price of the trucks, they were starting at $65,000, and then they had all these fancy kits and stuff on it. It went up.
Oh, yeah.
It's like buying a house.
Yeah, but a house, when you go to sell it, at least you have something. What have you got in 5 years? Like a $90,000 vehicle. $5,000? Boy, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. Probably better off just buying a nice, good old used one and let it go at that.
Hey, you're right. That's the only way I'll ever do another vehicle.
Yep, I started buying new. I had bought some new vehicles, but the depreciation on them pretty much changed my mind. The only way I could get the car I wanted was to buy a new vehicle. I was going to buy used. I just buy something with about 20,000 miles on it, 15, 20,000. I figured, even 15 or 20,000 miles, they're not going to hurt it too bad if they act stupid, forget to change the oil or something. But for the most part, I've been very lucky. I bought a 15, 20,000 mile car, and I'll still get over 150 out of it easy before I get rid of it.
Roger, that's where I generally go with the lease returns.
What do you mean the lease return?
You lease a vehicle for 2 years and then they turn it in. And I think
I didn't know what you meant. I thought you meant the lease return as far as what the value was.
Miles.
Yeah, a lot of them are the demos. The dealership demos they give to the there. They usually drive them about 10,000 miles, or they drive for about a year and a half, and then they sell them and they have a good depreciation on them.
Roger, they say a new one, as soon as you title it, it loses 20%.
I think it could be more than that in some cases. I bought a Pontiac T1000. We had it for 2.5 years. It had very little miles on it, very little. And I traded it in for a Pontiac, a GMC four-wheel drive, one of those old tiny little S10 ones back in the day when they first came out. And I didn't really want to buy it, but I did anyway. And I did a trade-in with the Pontiac. I don't think it had even 20,000 miles on it, and I still owed some money on it. So they gave me what was called a buyback, and I didn't know what the hell that was. I was a stupid kid, and I wanted to sign the paperwork and everything. And later on, I found out I paid them I paid them $500 to take the car, and I bought that car from them. And they did a buyback, which I thought they were just going to break even. And I had to pay them $500 to take the car, and they tacked it onto my loan.
Excellent.
Yeah, my backside was sore after that.
Did you get a kiss?
Nope. When I looked at that paperwork, I said, oh, my God, I just got it. And I didn't even know it. And I went back there, oh, yeah, you signed it. And I said, okay, that's fine. And that truck was such a piece of junk. It was leaking transmission fluid coming off the showroom floor.
Wow.
It gets better. You want to hear the story?
Yeah, then I'm going to have to I'm ready for bed.
All right, I'll give you a quick and dirty story. Bought it, leaking off the showroom floor, brought it back to have it worked on to fix it, and it was still leaking after that. then it stopped shifting properly. Brought it in, they overhauled the transmission. Transmission still didn't work right. They overhauled it again. Then I brought it back, and they said they had to get a new valve body for it. This is the third time it's been worked on the same transmission. This is before they had the Lemon Law. And also, after that, before the third time, I was ticked off because it's cold outside. It would not shift from first to second. And I said, and I only had 500 miles on it. And I said, well, this sucker's going to shift or it's going to blow up. Well, I floored it. It didn't shift. The engine blew up. They had to overhaul the engine, and they had to do the transmission. And the funny part was, the part that went bad in the engine, that spun a bearing. The bearing that spun was a known bearing to go out after warranty was up. And it was like almost a planned thing that something would happen to the engine after warranty was up. People got over, over 15,000 miles on it. The bearing went out. Well, mine went out prematurely because I burned a you-know-what out of it.
And they had to fix it under warranty.
Yep, they had to pull the engine, overhaul the engine, the whole bottom end, and then they had to fix the transmission, put a new valve body in it. And then a year later, the transmission started acting up again, and I finally I was out of warranty, and they wouldn't do anything about it. After 3 times, they wouldn't do anything about it. And I brought it up to AMCO Transmission, and they fixed it, and it worked perfect ever since they fixed it. So I was lucky that the guy at AMCO knew how to fix the problem. But I was so ticked off, I was seeing red.
Roger. Yeah, well, man, what a lesson. Expensive lesson.
Yeah, and it was a dog of a 6. It was like the smallest 6-cylinder ever made. And it was not even fuel injected, it was carburetor, and the carburetor was a piece of junk. I had to go and take the carburetor, pull off the caps on the idle adjustment screws because they're like preset that never to ever adjust them. But the idle on them was lean. They call it a lean drop idle, they call it. And it was so poorly done that the thing would not run with a damn it idle. And so I had to pop those things out, drill them out and pop them out, and adjust them myself to get the thing to run right. Is that what you call a lemon?
That's what I'd call a POS.
Yep, that was the worst car I ever owned in my life. And, oh well, what do you do? Live and learn.
Yeah. Well, with that, Chris, I'm going to tell you good night. Always a pleasure talking to you. 73, KC3, KXP.
All right. Take care. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bug bite. And you come back.
Yeah, you all come back now. Yeah. And happy Mother's Day to you.
I've never heard someone call me a mother, except when they're mad at me.
Okay, good night. I'll talk to you tomorrow night. 73.
73.
November 1. November 1, November 1, November 1, November 1, November 1, November 1, November. November 1, November Papa Quebec.